Ladies and gentlemen, Paladins fans around the world, we are here live at HRX with the Paladins World Championship Grand Finals. Presenting Navi. He's one of the most celebrated players in the history of competitive Paladins. He is the frontliner for Navi. It's Lazy. From a farm in the Netherlands to the Paladins world stage, looking to repeat, it's Phoenix. The T-1000 is online. Envy is the target. The Terminator, it's Mutu. He's last year's MVP, looking to bring the pain once again from the flex position. It's Creatives. In the support role, he's going for his third world championship. He's set the standard for support play. It's Spunky. Their opponents, hailing from North America, it's Envy. He's always on the point. He's always rock solid. It's a support, Tolki. From the Paladins Global Series to the main stage of the World Championship, he flank, he spank, he main tank, it's Rubu. After a narrow miss of the cut in January, he's back to take this train to the station. He's your support. It's Mr. Hayes! In the flex role, it's that bad man, the Blaster Master, Random Noob! And finally, in the damage role, considered by the best to be the best, and one of the best Paladins players on Earth. From America, it's Rock Monkey. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your teams. We are ready to get it underway. Let's see some fragging and some clicked heads. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Golden Boy in the desk one more time as we get into game one.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Paladins World Championship Finals here at HRX 2018. I'm Golden Boy, and I'm so excited for this one because this is going to be a battle of the regions. You got NA, EU, basically a battle as old as time itself. But I'm not alone here, and I'm actually getting some new faces at this. We got Gormizer and Vox. Vox, you look like you're doing something there.
I'm making some notes right now. It's pretty simple. I've got to say we're very unbiased on the casting desk, but we have got a bit of regional representation right here, folks. There might be a bit of a strong opinion as to who's going to come out on top already.
If you flip it upside down, it actually says, "Please help us," because we're about to get smacked.
Oh, wow. Okay.
How do you read my code?
We've been spending so much time together.
We certainly have.
I was not ready for any of this. This is like, I thought we were going to get some friendly banter.
This is a war zone.
No, it is a war. I said a battle because I was trying to keep it, nice and light, but instead this is going to be war, clearly.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the battle of the best, right? It is the Paladins World Championship Finals. What more could we ask for?
Oh boy, well, you know what I can ask for, just because I've been doing this and it's been my thing all weekend long. Space Whales in the chat! That's right. You give me my Space Whales, Mixer, okay? And then after that, Mixer's gonna give me my space trees. And then after that, I'm gonna superimpose my face onto a whale, and that's gonna make it on Mixer.
If it makes you feel better, every single time you've called for it, until I ran out of sparks, I would go in and spam some whales.
That's right. I have 20,000 sparks.
I actually don't have enough anymore.
I have 20,000 sparks that I'm gonna use exclusively on Space Whales. So, this is gonna be awesome. We have a great matchup here. We have Navi, we have Envy, and a very different tale for both of these teams. For Navi, they've had an interesting road up to this point, going up against the likes of Virtus Pro, for example, Fnatic. These are teams that have given them some challenge, but this is a squad that is tenured. They have won multiple championships across the board. Then you have Envy that went basically to war, to use that word again, against that Brazilian team in Space Station Gaming. That was absurd.
It was a slobber knocker.
It was a
That's the
slobber knocker.
appropriate usage of that word right there.
I said it yesterday when I sent it to the back for the interview. It was a slobber knocker.
I was sweating in the crowd. You know, Golden Boy, I came off the first set going, man, I've really hurt my voice here. I've got to be careful. I'm not gonna yell. I'm gonna clap. I'm not gonna cheer. And
Golf
then
clap. No, that's not gonna last.
That MV set happens, and oh my goodness, that bright match game, that last play by Freeze got there with the Drogo's flicks. But my voice sounds straight away again.
Could have realistically been Space Station Gaming at this point.
Another day, right?
Exactly,
I'm gonna
another day.
admit that I'm still a little emotionally distraught because I saw Nocturnes lose last year at the same kind of stage.
Last
and then I
game.
feel it again with SSG lose.
Oh my goodness.
I'm still rooting a little bit for Envy, but they did break my heart just enough.
I totally agree with you on that one. It was soul crushing, but the reason why it was so soul crushing was because how hard fought, that battle was, and Envy dug so deep. And one of the reasons why they were able to dig so deep was because of their superb coaching. He was here with us on the desk last year. He's on the stage playing for, or actually coaching for a world championship this year. His boys are going to be playing. It's Meta Pusher, who's over at the stage right now. We're going to get some words from him.
Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with the coach. He looks like a very handsome gentleman today. Justin Wilkes, right? Meta Pusher, for those who don't know. How is the team feeling? How are you feeling going into what is assuredly the biggest moment in your Paladins esports history here?
We're really excited for the opportunity to prove ourselves. Navi has been, the giant waiting at the end of the tunnel for pretty much every team in Paladins all year long, and we're really excited for the opportunity to take them on.
So, Justin, do you guys feel like you're David at this point? Is this the David Goliath story? Do you really feel like you're that much of a perceived underdog, or do you think that this is more of an even matchup, maybe even tilted in your favor than people are expecting back home?
I think that we're definitely the David in this situation, but where David has already faced Goliath once or twice, took some beatings, and so hopefully we've learned from those past opportunities.
That matchup actually already went David's way. I mean, we have records of that. David already did pretty well there. Last thing, obviously, this is a big stage. Your boys, obviously, probably a little nerves this morning. How is everyone feeling getting into this matchup? What were the just general consensus amongst the team?
Everybody's feeling great, man. Last time we had to play Navi, we had to play Burrito right beforehand, so they got to watch us play them. This time we were able to fully prepare for Navi and nobody else. Everybody's feeling really good. We got a nice big breakfast, stomach's full, ready to frag.
And you again, I got to shout it out. You look good, man. Our guy Melvin at Men's Warehouse, he was hooking us up, but you just put this together yourself.
Oh, yeah, that's Meta Pusher special.
The Meta Pusher special, baby. Obviously, spending a little bit more time with you guys. We have that moment, but we will catch up with you later, hopefully in the post-game interview if you are the winners. Justin, congratulations for getting here, and good luck, man, in the finals.
Appreciate it.
All right, that's Meta Pusher for Envy. We'll send it back to the desk and see if we can talk a little bit more, maybe Navi next time.
Yeah, everyone's looking pretty dapper here, including the Borker, There's the Borker. Bitey lent it to us, so thank you for that one, bud. Yes, little nervous, a little worried, I would imagine. I mean, they would have to be. This is a big moment for this North American squad.
I mean, when you look at the history that Navi has been able to bring, a lot of wins this year internationally throughout the lands we've had, but during the last time they were on a stage like this, in a setting like this, Envy were the ones that were able to come out on top. During Las Vegas, they were able to turn things around in their favor, and that's one of the few times we've gotten to see North America take that kind of win. So they're probably feeling some similar vibes there.
Vox, you're Captain EU.
I really am.
You're really pushing it. The agenda.
I need a flag at this point.
You need a flag.
We got a Borker.
Look, I've got to rely on this before Brexit rolls around, and then I can't anymore. So
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. An astute observation.
we got to go with that.
This Navi roster, though, so much experience. They surely they're not feeling anything here.
I wouldn't expect them to be feeling any fear, any pressure. Again, to what we remarked yesterday, Navi play basic Paladins, and I think that's what we're going to see today, but it's just going to be on a whole new level, because Navi, they play the same game that you play at home. They're just better than you in every regard, and we'll have to see if Team Envy will pull out some cheese strats to maybe push them to the distance, or if they'll just have to go toe-to-toe with the basics.
You say they're just better than you. Some people say that this next guy might just be better looking than you. It is the one and only Phoenix who's actually going to be over at the stage right now. Let's get some thoughts from him.
Thanks, Golden Boy. So I'm here with Phoenix again. Maybe not are you the captain? Are you the actual?
I am the actual captain.
Technically. I was going to say captain in spirit, at least, for this team. You have revitalized, I think, Natus Vincere in a way that nobody else expected that you would. Coming in that November fall in, having that appearance, and then after November, excuse me, winning Worlds, and now in the same year having a chance to back-to-back with Na'Vi. How does it feel being here, man?
It's still kind of surreal to me because like a lot of people expected us to be here, but of course I have my doubts sometimes. Looking at myself, I'm a very critical player, like self-critic, and I'm just very grateful to be here again.
I mean, you have a mind for the game, and a lot of people wouldn't know this because, you know, they don't get a chance to sit down and talk, but you and I watched some games yesterday. You're breaking it down. You're telling me what went wrong, what went right. Is that what's going to push you guys over the edge? Do you think just your understanding of the game and this meta has just always been a little bit above everyone else you faced?
I think we play a very smart version of Paladins, but I think Envy does the same thing, so it's going to be a very good matchup no matter what. I do think these two teams on stage right now are the top two in the world, and they both deserve to be here, so whoever shows up today is going to win.
You know, obviously, you want to get this win for yourself, but this team is galvanized for one man, and it's Spunky to get that back-to-back-to-back world champion. I mean, no one else is probably going to be able to do that. How much does it mean going into this matchup, playing for not only yourself, but him?
It means a lot, and I'm very grateful that I can be here and help him make this reality, basically. Like, his third time in a row, that's something in any esports that's unheard of. Like, it's crazy if you can do it, and I'm very grateful that I can help him do that.
Well, history's getting made somewhere. North American team wins Worlds. Spunky goes back-to-back-to-back, and you repeat. Congratulations for getting here, man. A lot of work to be done now, but we're excited to see what happens.
Thank you.
All right, Phoenix from Na'Vi.
Thank you so much for that one, Rain Day. And yes, history will be made either way, whether it's a North American team winning the Paladins World Championship or the back-to-back-to-back for Spunky or the back-to-back for Na'Vi. There's just a lot to be had here. It's going to be an exciting game either way. I think everyone here is going to be treated to some real exquisite Paladins. But you said that Na'Vi are going to play basic Paladins. They're going to take everyone to school here, Vox. But what about Envy? I want to get your thoughts on Envy. How do you think Envy are going to play against Na'Vi in this series? Unbiased, of course.
So realistically, what I think that Envy are going to do here is just go toe-to-toe with the basics again. We're going to see this kind of rock, paper, scissors style drafting come on through. We might see a few of the flavor picks. We know that Eevee's been a really big proponent in this tournament for, again, Na'Vi and especially Envy during yesterday's set. So we're probably going to see some of that. But ultimately, what we're seeing right now is two teams whose skill in Paladins is so up there, it's so out there, that all of these little divergences from champion trends that we've seen, such as Ying winning a lot through the placement rounds, that curve is being flattened out entirely. We saw Na'Vi just run over people with Maldama yesterday. Every little advantage, I want to say, that Envy might have or Na'Vi might have is basically a 50-50 at this point. It really could just come down to who plays better on the day, but ultimately we know that Envy have some of the best fraggers in-game and some amazing aggressive frontline players.
Very true, very true. Now let's see the battleground of which this war will partake. Map 1 will be Splitstone Quarry. All right, so interesting map here to start things up. Lots of sight lines, wide open spaces. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's one of the few that you're going to have. I mean, Splitstone Ascension Peak still available for them, but Ice Mines has been banned out, Timber Mill has been banned out, Frozen Guard has been banned out. This one, to me, is going to be a perfect swing right into looking at the aim. I mean, Rock Monkey, one of the reasons he's been remembered, one of the things that has been good for Na'Vi has been playing on this map and looking at their aim. They were able to beat Nocturnes on this map last year in their Game 7 in the semifinals, but when it comes down to being able to fight at a long range, I can't think of anyone better to have on your side than Rock Monkey.
And you know, for me, this feels like the opening map that we might have actually seen coming around a couple of times. We saw it for the Envy set, first of all, yesterday. We know that this is Na'Vi's map pick as well. We'll have to see if they want to go first or second here. Usually it's first pick, actually, if you have that opportunity right at the start of things. But this, to me, feels like a very neutral staging ground for both teams. There's no particular pocket strategy which either team might pull out on here beyond maybe Musa running a Vivian, and both teams will be expecting that.
Well, onwards to the picks and bans. And we're going to start with Na'Vi's ban phase here. Let's see what they opt to remove from the game. And and I have to kind of shake my mind from what I saw on console and kind of get back to the
first
basis.
ban Sky.
No first ban Sky, no second ban Victor. You're gonna get the Torvald, the Khan on Envy side, the Lian goes as well, and the Makoa. Basic bans from what we've seen throughout the weekend here in Atlanta, and the coveted Inara first pick for Na'Vi.
It's not too surprising to see Inara go first. Lazy loves Inara, and it's just been such a prominent pick through pretty much all of the fall split. She is a tank sponge. She just takes up any healing that you have. She doesn't care about the damage you throw at her, and that's why she is just such a high priority to be able to grab up first, because then you force your opponent, especially without a Leon, to think about how hard they want to counter her. Is it going to be worth a Willow, and do you want to pick it up as early as you can?
It is like a normal team.
So we get the Fernando for Envy, and we know that Envy like to grab this Fernando. This has been kind of one of their comfort picks. They've even allowed teams to grab the Inara multiple times and just said, oh yeah, you can have Inara. We will take Fernando. And they also take Ruckus here as well.
Well, realistically, this is just a very good, strong bully frontline from Envy. It's what we saw them run and really prioritize. Yesterday, we saw Rubu do some incredible things on Fernando, and Tolkien take up that Ruckus pick, which is more unusual from what we've seen so far. But I'm liking what Na'Vi are answering back with here. They have the Cassie. She's great anti-flank potential with Impulse. Also deals very well with frontlines with big game here. So Na'Vi, they're just not revealing too much right now. Their draft is core neutral, and it is a very, very versatile setup for two flex picks last of all.
The spirits cannot.
Grab Aldamba here. Another pick for Envy coming in hot, and it will be the Eevee. We saw the impact that Eevee had yesterday in those matches against Space Station Gaming.
One of the things that Eevee has going for her, other than just the ability to change the pace of the game, is the fact that she's very rhythm-based, and when you can get into the backline, you deal with someone like Cassie or Vivian who really can't run away from you that easily, you can blast them down, and I feel like Random Noob found that stride yesterday. He was forced to against SSG, and so bringing it in here, I think, is a perfect shoe-in, although they did have to kind of show their hand early on.
Do you feel like everyone's getting what they want here?
Yeah, very much so. Na'Vi have Vivian and Ash to round out the lineup. Envy are probably going to pick a Victor here, which is what we've seen them do again and again. They might go for a Drogos, but they need that direct damage.
Oh,
it is the Kinessa, actually. I am a little bit surprised by this. I like the idea of Victor's frag grenade to be able to soften up the Vivian for Eevee to go in and blast them down once your deflector shield is out, but potentially Kinessa can take a one-shot kill onto that Vivian.
I mean, the admins have always mentioned that they love standing behind Rock Monkey when he plays, because at first it was like maybe something's going on, but his aim is just incredible. Him on Kinessa is going to be a treat to watch, and I think that's going to be something that could potentially change the pace of the game.
All right, gentlemen, real quick, give me a name. Who's going to win game one?
Na'Vi.
Na'Vi.
Envy.
Okay, the desk is split as predicted here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to start the grand finals of the Paladins World Championship. Let's send it over to your casters. You got Pretty Hair and Rain Day.
Thank you, Golden Boy. Let's make some noise. It's Paladins, baby. The World Championship. They have waited. They have gone for so many months, Nick, trying to get to this moment. And these are the two teams that have battled here. Just what a story. I think we're all just respectful of everyone and the talent that is on display today.
From a team that didn't make the cut in January, they stand on the stage before you. Team Envy, the big underdog in this matchup. They have defeated Na'Vi in times past, but never on a stage this big. Na'Vi looking extremely comfortable. Team Envy taking a small risk, I think, picking up this Kinessa, but these risks are going to have to pay off if they're going to have a prayer against Na'Vi.
And I actually like the risk thing. I wanted to talk about that Kinessa early on because Mutu and Na'Vi have done this 2 times now. They've drafted the Vivian. I called it when we were talking a little bit before the desk. And Random Noob already starts off. Mutu, see you later. Not having a 17.5 KDA this game. And I think Random Noob TV's on another level, but Phoenix fires right back and finds one under Rubu.
Noob making sure he keeps the pressure up on a Phoenix.
Wow.
Noob with 2 for Team Envy. The Eevee player definitely starting off hot for Team Envy.
There's a reason we call him that bad man. He just does it like nobody else can on the blasters as well, putting on pressure. But meanwhile, Natus and Vincere still have 48% on the objective. Getting low again, and Noob takes him down. He's trying to get alive, and if he can get out of this, Rock Monkey's got him covered. That would be a huge play.
Running out of cooldowns, running out of time.
Oh
Sword comes up and out goes Paul. Blinking to the back line here. A lot of healing coming through, but Tolkien does find creatives. Envy just managing to get onto the payload now and even up the score here. Shout outs to Lazy for keeping Na'Vi in it when they're not winning this fight anywhere else.
I mean, Rock Monkey is going to be the big problem. Look at how much focus has been on random move. This Eevee was amazing, but Vanessa really puts Funky and the rest of Na'Vi in a quandary. But there's Mutu, the Terminator T1000 activates just a little late, and that's going to put Envy on the board ahead of the world champs.
Na'Vi's map pick, but it is Team Envy with the first payload of the game here. Random noob is going off. Mutu manages to shut down Rock Monkey despite the Headhunter ultimate being popped here. Na'Vi not quite looking themselves there. Mutu actually getting involved there in the communication. That's going to be incredibly important. This is a best of 7.
Yeah.
These teams will be tested. They will be tired by the end of this, mentally exhausted for sure. But they have to remain focused.
And that's the thing. We've seen so many teams kind of crack under that pressure because at a certain point you run out of drafts and run out of strategies, but these are the 2 teams that don't. These are the teams that have always had an answer, even in the Game 7s. And you look at Splitstone Quarry, this, I believe, is where Na'Vi won their Nocturnes Game 7 to put them into the finals last year or earlier this year. This is, I believe, where Envy won their first land win Game 7 against, I believe, in Vegas. And that was one of the biggest upsets, I think, that you could have had. Started that horrible kind of train for Fnatic, obviously. But man, oh man. Just an incredible performance here on this map specifically.
Starting to collapse now. Things getting pretty interesting. I'm surprised to see the fight take place indoors as much as it has so far. Looking for the kill onto Maldamba. Creatives trying to thread the needle here, but he just can't find his way. Mr. Hayes slipping left, slipping right, trying to stay alive here, but he will eventually fall.
And that is just creative for you. He's so dang good at random moves. Still on a 6 streak, waiting for the heal, but it just doesn't come in time. So they have a minute, a little bit of time to chill out, think of a plan. Envy have looked good thus far. And this dichotomy of the pressure of the flank of Eevee is opening up so much for Rock Monkey. That's what I wanted to comment on earlier. I thought this was a brilliant switch up to something they had been watching Na'Vi do and have success with Vivian.
Pretty scary given the success of Eevee early on. I thought it might be late game, right, where he starts to come online. Random noob might have been struggling to find targets early on, given the lack of anti-heal at the base kit for Eevee, but he has been very successful early on. Body blocks the shoulder charge from Phoenix, but that's a lot of damage for Eevee to be eating.
But you know what? That was an incredible, I think, just dodge as well from Phoenix, just to be able to go up and back. And Rock Monkey almost had the shot. If he's firing on all cylinders, I think Envy are 2-0ing this, but they still got 15 seconds to put it all together. Yin Clone spawning, giving the heals over to Phoenix, who's going to pressure out Random Noob. Can he wait that long? He can't. Noob gets the heal. There's the Hexafire from Tolkien. He wants to push this through. Envy are going for it.
There it is. 2 more kills on the backside of the fight. Rubu and Rock, the PGS boys, combined for 2.
Seismic crash as well. Spunky goes down. That is a man who's looking for his back-to-back-to-back, but this time he's getting sent back to base, and that's Envy's job. They're doing it well. Mutu comes out with the shield. Can it buy enough time? There's Lazy. Rock Monkey finds him. They're looking for one more big headshot.
Damage reduction keeps Lazy alive for a little bit in. Rock's going in. Transporter, the Headhunters pop the damages on the battlefield. Noob flying around like a crazy guy up in the sky there. There's the fear coming out onto Creatives. Overtime burning in favor of Team Envy.
Oh, and this is just, you hate to see it, Nick. Everyone on the side of Envy have gambled. They've used ultimates, and it seems like the defender's advantage is going the way of Natus Vincere. And however stalwart that was, it was Envy making the play and not coming out on top. Credit to Na'Vi for an excellent use of their skills to just buy time. And of course, Rock Monkey went in, but he couldn't quite find the headshots when he needed to. Still an impressive performance in round 1.
Stone cold there on the defense. Na'Vi do spend a couple of resources, and we do a little bit of a smirk, I think, in the middle of the round. But this first round was all about Random Noob. He was able to find the first 2 or 3 kills, top damage in the round by a decent margin. And this is really, really surprising to see from a flanker in general, but Eevee nonetheless is able to stay on top.
And this is important now, you know, with that early capture objective, you see the ability for Mr. Hayes to go into things like Chronos, which are so important for Maldamba, to have your gourd up as much as possible, to have your mending spirits as much as possible, although Eerie Present, shout out to that in case you missed. He's now able to get the Haven, and that is going to allow him a little bit of wiggle room, or a little bit of slither room in case the Vivian does get aggressive like we've seen Mutu drop on the floor, but now it's Lazy on the point. Envy have a choice here.
Rock's already found the first pick onto Spunky,
Wow.
and that is huge. These one-shot potentials from Eagle Eye Canessa, that's what she brings. Rock's already staring through the eyebrows. The game face is already rocking and rolling, but Random Noob will go down. That's a lot of pressure alleviated from Navi's backline.
I mean, Creatives is really going to be the key to this because he's the mid-range champion. Kresnik, he kind of named this the Power Ranger, right? The mid-ranger. He's so good at finding these little cubbies, getting in, getting out, applying damage that's meaningful. The shield comes up from Rubu, 1,700 a tick. That's the record happening. And now Rock Monkey holding down this choke, but he hasn't found a line of sight in quite a while.
Moving around here, trying to get a line on Lazy now.
Big
Phoenix will
body
be body blocked. The assert dominance comes out. Forced, you might even say.
Yeah.
Rubu goes into the Immortal here, trying to bail his boys out, but Phoenix has the angle. Creatives has the angle. Random Noob is just trying to put the pieces back together.
What an incredible showcase here. Phoenix is just using his utility of the shoulder bash, the battering ram, the ability to stay alive during that 90% damage reduction. And there's not a lot of CC to counter in on Envy. Release the Moldama stun, and they can't find it. Na'Vi now take the lead here on Splitstone.
One of the things that makes Navi such a dangerous team is the rate at which they can adapt. I mean, you see them come out swinging. Team Envy hit Envy or hit Navi with something they're a little bit uncomfortable with, clearly, but already in the second round, you're seeing positioning change. The areas where the first blood is happening change. Navi know exactly what they want to be doing every single time, and they have a very versatile composition to do it.
Random Noob, you can see how successful he was in round one, but that still was a fight that Navi put in. Random Noob has to play like this all game long if they want a chance to take down these world champions who are defending their title here. Lazy with a kill, but it's not going to amount to much. This defense will hold for now as Navi just regroups and get back together. What are you looking at here as the most important turning point for both teams?
The biggest turning point for me is once the records start to come online, even harder for Navi. Envy relies heavily on the shielding to keep their frontliners alive. You can already start to see Creatives chunking 1,700 a shot into that Fernando shield. It's not the end of the world, but it's something that Envy have to be aware of. Realize I do not have the same staying power as I did in the earlier rounds. Things are going to be falling quicker and quicker.
And you can tell, look at this, I mean, Ruckus is just in a serious position when Cassie is available, so they have to find a way to deal with Creative. He's not going to get the healing unless Spunky wants to go illusory rip, but it's not available. We're seeing been a big part of this meta over the LAN and the qualifiers. These two teams, so good, they qualified out of it, so they are playing a lot of their games now. And oh boy, Creative's playing his game right now. Former years MVP, and he's looking good today. Mutu with a double, and that's putting Na'Vi in the driver's seat.
Surprised that we don't see Talkie continue to pressure out Mutu there. I mean, he was such low HP there.
Yeah.
And you can't let Vivian gas puddle you for very long. Rock has the vision. He knows he's being flanked in this area. Won't be able to land the headshot there. Shield popped immediately. Mutu gets out from safety. If he's allowed to get to that spot, that corner, he's going to win the round from there.
This is big. Random Noob and Tolkien combined to find a kill on the Mutu, and that is a problem. That is for sure. Creative now getting the Ice Storm, but look at the healing Spunky. He is on point. Illusory Rip. Now Na'Vi, it's their turn to try to go for it. So far, so good, but that's an early kill. And in overtime, I'm sure they wish was extended, but they may not make it here as Rubu finds Creative.
It's a big ultimate pop here, and there goes Spunky. Random Noob barely into the ice block here, but he's buying so much time. Mutu is simply not available to help out the front line here. Lazy goes down, and it will be a Team Envy defense. One ultimate pops for either side.
We said this is going to be close, but man, oh man, is it. These two teams both spinning ultimates.
Navi's map pick too.
What does that tell you? To me, it says they are willing to take risks here to win it all, man.
Yeah, they're spending their lower priority, I think, quicker to charge ultimates. Illusory Rift is used more often than not pretty liberally. Ying is going to be building basically straight into morale boost because any healer that can get to their soft cap of CDR of 50% just through the loadout cards, of which Ying is one, she goes straight into morale boost. She gets her ultimate up very, very liberally. Rock is sort of the same. He's going to be able to get a ton of poke damage out. Canessa charging her ultimate very, very quickly and actually seizing back top spot of the damage charts.
Phoenix and Lazy not playing well if you look at KD, but if you look at what they've done for this team, it's been instrumental in keeping these point fights alive.
Dirty work.
Phoenix has basically held down that left side. This time they all go right. Phoenix going in, shoulder bash, gonna hit his head. If things get bad, but they don't, just using the shield. Rock Monkey has the angle, and that's what's been holding Na'Vi back from pushing over to the high ground. That's what he wants to control, and so does Rubu. The kinetic burst just battering back and forth to front lines, shielded to the teeth, trying to budge an inch, but nobody will move.
Mutu finds the first blood onto Random Noobs, and now 54% running away with it. So to speak, Na'Vi are looking good. good. They throw down ultimates to make sure they maintain control of the backline. Rubu drops the Immortal, and the Hexafire comes through to boot. It'll find one.
Dolky finds another. He had that quadra kill yesterday, and here's Phoenix getting in on the party. The front lines are doing work, and Lazy's still alive on the Inara on point, but Phoenix is low. He's used all his resources.
Gotta hit those.
But guess what's about to come up, Nick? 15% from Illusory Rip.
Absolutely. Massive healing cooldown about to come online for Navi. Rock's hunting for it. The Headhunters pop. One shot could be the end of Creatives, but he knows it. He's not going to take that risk. He rolls out into the open here. The Carbine fire's not enough.
And that won't do it. They are going to fall, and Navi will have to retreat. But the thing about them and this Inara, this strategy, the way they play Paladins, they have a second chance. You cannot stop Phoenix at this point from getting on the objective unless, I don't know, you get a kill. We use an Ice Storm. Nick, what's the play here? Do you shut down this whole channel? Do you go for Phoenix? Do you try to get a backline damage deal?
Lazy's far too close. The gas pedals push. Navi is being healed. 600 health per second globally. Thank you very much, Ying.
Oh, and that's too much. That is too much for him to handle. Spunky finds random noob, and now Phoenix going into the backline. Tolkien needs a big burst of rockets, but he can't find it. Rock Monkey, you are the only one left as Rubu finds Lazy. It's point v point, but they've got their healers. Everyone is battling. This one is 99 to 91.
92, 93. This Immortal charging up, climbing higher and higher.
Man.
But Rubu needs it now. Rubu's going to go down. Mutu gas pedaling. He's got to reload. He's out of bullets. The overtime's burning. Lazy's healthy, but he is surrounded by Envy.
Whoever takes this one is possibly going to push this into game number 1's victory, and it looks like Team Envy from North America could do it, but Lazy with a big kill. It's Rock Monkey who teleports on the objective.
87,
no!
no!
A stun from Mr. Hayes shuts him down. He can't take overtime, and that might have been the play of the game.
You can't stress enough how important that stun was. Phoenix comes in at 86% on his ultimate. He should be able to survive long enough to get that charge, stall things out, and then Navi are right back to it.
Big.
The supports need to be commended for plays like that.
I love what I'm seeing here. These two teams are putting on a show. Absolute phenomenal Paladins being played right now on Splitstone, and it's only game 1, but it looks like North America have the first chance in this best of 7 to finish off a game, and Lazy only stalwart here up top. Toki getting low, and this will probably spell a reset. Losing that Ruckus is a big deal. Mutu hasn't had the same type of impact that he had last time he was playing.
Absolutely not. It's just telegraphed. Envy just know it's coming. I think that's the strategy. Well, the only weakness that Navi has is that they are predictable. You can sort of lead them into their power picks, and then at least you know what to expect. You know it's going to be hard. You know they're hitting their shots. You know it's going to be extremely difficult. But sometimes that's the only way.
Big fight here. Noob and Creatives is going to get the better end of that, so Navi will continue to push back and go to about half court here with 1:17 left on the push. Big shot though from Rock Monkey finds Spunky. Wait, that is a bad problem here. They don't even have Illusory Rip. Phoenix could go down here. This could start the stagger. They've got to finish up before Spunky's back. Just another snake to just get this done and guarantee he can't do anything. And now it's Team Envy on the roll.
36 HP. This is the hardest choke to break. They've broken it. Lazy looks like he actually wants to go toe-to-toe here with Toki.
No.
The wall will go up. Toki, you can't go that way. You got to get out of this situation here. He's got about 1,000 HP to spare. Deep Immortals popped as well. Envy want to keep this momentum rolling. They want to go for the throw at heaven. They want to end the game.
Noob goes for 2. Noob trying to light it up here and go for 3. The triple kill not on the board now, but he's got to find Spunky. He has to finish off this support. That is the only way you can guarantee Envy pushing this. Lazy just respawning now. Natus, Vincere, the defending world champs, trying to get back to base and make this thing happen as the payload continues to push through. Lazy comes back up, and it's an Ice Storm from Noob. Is he going to use it? Are they going to use their ult here and try to finish off the game?
One of the back line there. Spunky narrowly escapes. The spray's coming out. Random Noob feeling good. Envy is coming around the corner with confidence. They have resources to spend here. There is a defensive point on the line here. 1 for 1 so far. That's going to be in favor of the defense.
And I like this, though. I think Tolkien and at least Rock staying alive is a big deal. Creatives in the back line. Look at this rotation. Dread Serpent from Mr. Hayes. Hexafire. Rubu, he's going to get stunned, but yet they're using ultimates. Navi are scared. Envy are coming at him like dogs, and they smell fresh meat. Overtime taken away. Mutu finds Toki, but Rock Monkey looking for the headshots. Phoenix with a beautiful shield, though.
He plants the battle standard. 8 seconds of damage immunity on the point. Isn't enough to stall this one out. Knocking Fernando away from the objective. Overtime is about ready to burst. Someone's got to get in here from Envy. It is a dog pile on the payload, but it will be Navi holding on and forcing a 3-3.
Nick, they bet it all on red and it rolled black. You gotta feel for them there. That was a lot. And however, they got some from Navi as well. Both teams wanted that one. And Na'Vi,
Rubu almost missed his mouth. He's shaking so bad.
yeah, I mean, admittedly, it made sense because Na'Vi, they were going to lose there, so they have to do it in response. The seismic crash is used, the assert dominance is used. Who comes out on top after that?
It's all basically equalized here. Both teams spending a lot of big cooldowns there. You're looking at no ultimates for either side here, but very, very close on key ones for Team Envious, the Immortal specifically. Everything else under 50%. Almost you can say the same thing about Na'Vi though, so it really is. Everyone looking to Rubu here. He's got almost the only ultimate out of the gate that is going to be able to be used. There it is, Immortal fully charged. How will Envy use their lead?
And we know that Rock Monkey can take advantage of that Immortal status when he's able to be on this high ground next to Rubu. That's why they're holding left so well. Lazy already half health, and he's forced off the point. This is the first objective that they have had to pull Lazy back this early. Tolkien feels the pressure, and Rock Monkey knows he drops to the low ground. He's still got the transporter though, so he can get back up if he needs it.
Rubu putting the heat on Creatives. He finds the first blood in the round. He still has his ultimate as well. Rubu doesn't even need the ultimate. He's hitting the gas pedal. The young gun from the PGS coming up huge for him.
And now Mutu is in the back line. This Vivian is about, her days are about numbered here because she cannot survive if Envy just sneak her out. But there they go. Rock Monkey turns his attention around, and maybe, just maybe, this has bought enough time. Will this crazy flank, this desperate play from Mutu somehow turn the time for Na'Vi? And they find Random Noob.
It misses though. That's a huge misplay from Random Noob. Now the wall goes up. Lazy's on the objective, climbing back. Wall drop. Seismic crash goes out. It finds Rubu, and Creatives will clean it up.
The illusory ripped as well. Spunky keeping everyone alive, and Tolkien gets the lead in mid-air. Na'Vi are somehow making this thing work. That's why they're world champs. But look at this. Headhunter is activated. Rock Monkey going for the kill now, and so is Immortal, but they've got to touch 96%. 99 Na'Vi take game one.
Such a risky maneuver by Mutu. He flanks with the lowest mobility champion in the game. The slow march to the back line, and I think that distraction is just barely enough.
Yeah.
Small adjustments could have been made there from Team Envy. I think maybe, how much do you know, right? We have the Spectator UI. We know Immortal's the only ultimate available to them. If Envy used that knowledge and got super aggressive there and, you know, took that advantage and made something of themselves there, that could have been a different story.
It does feel like there was opportunities missed, but you can't say you didn't swing. And that's what I think Envy will have to hold their heads high about. Natus and Vincere show why they are the defending champs. Despite Envy's performance, they still grab game one. Let's send it back to the desk, break it down.
And Na'Vi get game one in the books. Envy so close, but Na'Vi never, ever count them out. Welcome back to the Alienware Analyst Desk, folks, as we break down game one and get set up for game number two. And this is where, if you're an Envy fan, if you're Envy on that stage right now, you have to kind of knock yourself out of this, because I felt personally that if Na'Vi wins game one, game two is pretty suspect. This is the game that Envy need to win. If they don't, if they go down 2-0 at the start of this series, I think we could be seeing a sweep, and we could be seeing the back-to-back or the back-to-back-to-back champions in this one. What are your thoughts?
One of the good things about Envy is that they are very good at changing from map to map. Like, they don't let it tilt them too badly. So even if they go down 3, they can usually collect themselves for game 4, right? In my mind, it is that kind of scenario where it's like, if you get one game here, if you can push it to at least 5, I feel like Envy can start warming themselves up. Then they push it to 6. Then you go into game 7, and I feel like that's the way it would go for them to find their victory. But if Na'Vi, like you said, kind of keep their steam rolling, I mean, they're just going to steamroll.
Now, to Envy's credit though, Vox, they caught Na'Vi off guard at the beginning of the game. The EV plays were amazing, just diving in and out, being just this distraction that was really peeling everyone away from the rest of the activity that was going on. But they were able to adjust. Na'Vi were able to adjust, and this is just a testament to this roster.
Yes, and again, you can look at the amount of deaths that Random Noob has here, thanks to the stats we got on screen right now. 14, the highest on their team, and that's by and large due to the adjustment that comes through from Creatives as well as the focus through from Phoenix. Creatives, playing the Impulse Cassie, has some of the best counter flank potential in-game on this pick, and that adjustment to make sure that pick was prioritized and Random Noob was shut down was critical.
Everyone did work that game, though. I mean, multiple 100,000 point damage across the board. That is insane, Gore. And yet Envy's still not able to get that win.
And one of the weird things about it was it wasn't just Knessa and Eevee. You would kind of expect them to be up there in the damage, but you have Rubu putting his name in that 100,000 damage. I mean, he was almost at the 120K mark, the same as his damage dealers. And that's why Fernando is usually such a priority pick for them. He does work with this champion, but it kind of felt as though they had a really weird mix. Normally, they let Rubu onto this Fernando. He can get aggressive. He's the side. Tolki is going to be playing the Inara, something to stand on the point, maybe a Barrack. But this time he was on that Ruckus. So it was a weird dynamic for them. It was all aggression all the time, and it feels like they tripped up because of it.
Well, let's find out who your Steel Series MVP for Game 1, the grand finals of the Paladins World Champion was, and it is Creatives, and you have to commend him for the adjustments that he made dealing with this Eevee that was just really a thorn on their side this whole game.
And you know what? If Creatives hadn't made those adjustments, Creatives would probably be the reason why Na'Vi could have lost that set right there. And let's talk about why. A few fatal missteps, especially on payload defense by Creatives, do come on through. For example, on that second push from Envy, steps down off the high ground to try and chase a damage dealer, doesn't just shoot and take out the support, which is sitting there behind everyone, and in the end almost throws that. Only respawn proximity keeps them in the game, but again, in the second round and that fourth round, the adjustment of the target prioritization that came on through allowed them to stay in the fight.
And you have to make those adjustments against Envy, or else they will run away with the game. It was looking like that was going to be the K-score. It looked like Envy was starting off so strong, but now we go to our next map pick, and it's going to be Bright Marsh. Close quarters, lots of activity, lots of action. Gore, your initial thoughts on this map too?
Kind of a huge swing in play style from what you see from Splitstone Quarry, but I expect Na'Vi to kind of go for a similar draft. I mean, one of the things Vox had said going into that Splitstone Quarry draft was that everything was very neutral for them. They get a Nara, they get Cassie, they get Ying. They don't show that they're going to be doing anything special, and then admittedly when they close it out, it's nothing too specific. It's just a generic draft that they just know how to play.
Just good play
and it
all
works
through,
just as well on Bright Marsh.
So do you think that Na'Vi don't really change much here for Bright Marsh, Fox?
I think it's very neutral again. If you look at the semifinals that we had yesterday, both of the teams playing actually won their Bright Marsh games. Now, it was damn sight closer for Envy than it was for, of course, Na'Vi when they were playing versus Fnatic, but now this time around, I think they're going to want to keep it relatively neutral again. It was overall a close game, and one of the predominant reasons why Envy took a fall in that last one is they didn't back away from the objective and they didn't deal with Mutu. They weren't able to at that point because of the positive pressure coming through from the rest of Na'Vi. I might expect a little bit of draft funk coming through on here, but for the most part, I'm expecting, again, a relatively regimented draft. We're looking at the early bans of Frontline specifically, and then maybe from Envy some more focus onto Creatives, because right now, whilst they were making the adjustments that they needed to early on, they felt like the weak link. Do
we get Grok?
I feel like if anyone is going to pull it out, it would be Envy. Like, I don't think Na'Vi are putting that in their wheelhouse, but I feel like Envy could definitely pull that out because that's been one of the weird weak links that Na'Vi have had over this last couple of days. They've also dropped one map every single time. Usually it will come through right here, but they are very adept at making those adjustments. Same thing goes for Envy with Meta Pusher behind them. And the things like the Cassie ban are just a good example of that.
Do you think they take Leanne first here so that this way you kind of deny them that
in this game, you win.
They actually do. And I was going to say it's a little bit up in the air right now because I think, again, we can see from the ban which Envy came out with, this Cassie, which through the World Championship alone, by the way, has a 60% win rate. They're looking for the Leon right now. It's a Creatives pick. And what did I say a moment ago? Creatives might be the weak link which Envy can exploit. They look like they're pursuing this, and they might be just stripping the picks away from him as he's more limited than the rest of the diverse cast of players which Na'Vi have.
But they took away Envy's comfortable Fernando. No Fernando for the point. They grab Inara, they grab Fernando. But Envy are saying, you want to go with the front line? You want to ban the front line? Go ahead. We will take the damage. We'll take the Leanne, who will hang out in the back and do damage. We'll take the Eevee, who will dive into you, and then we'll get the Ying. We'll worry about the front lines later.
Well, here's the thing with frontline. Envy now know that they can just very reliably, unless they want to go triple DPS, which I doubt they will do here, they can get Ashe and they can get Ruckus, and those are two picks which Envy are fully comfortable on. That's why, with, again, the diversity of champions, which the frontline players, especially on Navi, play, as a Shaolin pick comes on through, you can't outpick or outdraft the frontline players on this team. You
100% win rate, 1% pick rate, baby.
But there we go. It's the damage dealers which are going to make the difference this time around.
And for me, that is all, again, you're looking at creatives. You had mentioned banning out the Cassie, trying to play to that role. You take the Leanne away, but Shaolin was what he was playing last HRX, last
MVP,
PWC,
baby.
that gave him that MVP. It's the reason he was able to come through and show so much. And because people haven't been playing against him, they don't know at what angle do I need to stand at.
So, interestingly enough, we have Envy running that draft. They have Leon, Eevee, Ying, Barak, and Ruckus. They didn't take the Fortress Breaker Ash. This is maybe to do with the fact that deployables might just be a better block at this point for some of the Shaolin arrows coming through.
Yeah, good adjustment there, and maybe
a Tyra.
Phoenix is probably just goofing over there.
Well, it's a very big possibility, actually, because of what Firebomb can potentially do to deny this deployable Nightmare, but when there is maybe a Drogoz or a Willow still available, the utility which they can provide versus Ying and Barak, especially with those deployables, is probably more valuable. It's risky into the Leon, but I mean, if you look at Kratos playing Shaolin, Mutu on Drogoz would not be unusual here.
And no, we just got you baited. Dumb heart. It's going to be the Androxys picked up there. All right, gentlemen, the draft is set. Gore, what do you like on Bright Marsh?
I'm still feeling envy. I think Ruckus, Barak, and Eevee have something really big to bring, and we've seen what FRZ God can do with Leon on this map. I expect Rock Monkey to bring something similar.
I would have loved to see maybe a Blaster come out last of all. I think that Na'Vi might have hurt themselves fighting into that deployable Nightmare with only direct damage, and therefore I am going to buck the trend. And I think that Envy has the advantage just in the draft here, but it does come down to execution.
The execution is going to be important. Let's send it over to your casters for game 2. You got Pretty Hair and Rain Day.
Thank you, Golden Boy. Game 2 underway here. It is Bright Marsh, and I think Random Noob has had a pretty good warm-up against a good flank player, or a good player in general on the Eevee, and that was FRZ God yesterday, 3-shot in midair. Yeah. So I think he'll be ready for Mutu's Andro, but are you ever ready enough? That's the question they're going to have to answer here as we head into Game 2, the home of the Volpines, to maybe tie this up or put Na'Vi 2-0 ahead.
I mean, the risk is Kinessa in game number 1. The risk in game 2 here is definitely this Shaolin. Yes. 1% pick rate here. Maybe creatives like the way that Chronix was rock and rolling in this Realm Royale tournament this morning, because he's pulled out the bow on the biggest stage. I like the 1v1 matchups, though, for both of the frontliners for creatives. It's just a matter of him staying safe, though, and Random Noob has not made that easy.
And the availability of Scorch and how Phoenix will play this for Nando means that going away from the Drogoz puts Flash Shields into not really the territory you would expect. It's going to make Phoenix that much more available, that much more dangerous. And look at this, already Tolkien getting those shields shredded. Shaolin, one of the best in the business at shredding and shields because he hits so hard, it scales so well. And there he goes into the plan and cancels it immediately as Rock Monkey finds him in the sight.
Tolkien is definitely going to have to be the one that adjusts the most here. The Shaolin pressure on a very immobile target, especially implanted, is going to be immense. First blood comes through, quickly answered. Back Random Noob and Mutu both take a seat.
And it looks like it was interesting. The damage dealers find the flanks each respectively on both Na'Vi and Envy. Lazy trying to get back on the point. Na'Vi are so good at getting this early capture objective. Big kill from Creatives on Shaolin. Double kill from Creatives. The last year's MVP here at Worlds is still going.
Let's talk about Shaolin. I mean, one of the fastest charging ultimates in the game as well. Heat Haze makes you draw your bow a little bit faster. You move quicker, and you're invisible the entire time. You only reveal yourselves for half a second every time you take a shot, but it's a very, very liberal ultimate, one you expect to be popped multiple times this game.
And I feel like Envy are going to have to solve this problem. And this problem is Lazy on Inara, on the objective. Every single fight, 84%. 50%, 67% before Envy find a kill. And it's just giving these players who are too good too much of an advantage.
That's pretty much what it says to me after game number 1. You've got 4 people in 6 figures from Team Envy in game number 1. They win that game because of Lazy's just constant pressure on the objective, not giving Envy a single inch here. Some trouble though, Creatives goes into stealth.
Oh.
For the arrows on the Ruckus.
And it looks like Mutu found a kill. We know the Leon Enlightenment was used. Baby. And that means Mutu is ready to take on the fight there, but Rubu actually finds a couple Random Noob. I think gets a triple there, Nick. And it's a big weight for this Eevee to carry though against this team.
4K there for Random Noob. That's a lot of credits in hand. Flankers receive their bonus credits by getting the killing blows, damage dealers for doing damage, frontliners for being on point, healers for healing, obviously. Despite losing the objective, Random Noob is poised to overtake Mutu in net worth.
And that is a rare thing that we will see, although it happens, I'm sure, quite a lot. We don't catch it on camera. He went back to base and bought 9 of them. He just went and bought, I believe it has to be cauterized too, I would imagine.
Yep.
And there it is, has 74 credits remaining. That was perfect timing for your point as well. 56 here, nice presence, but it misses. As Rock Monkey woken up a little slower today.
This is definitely something you have to look at as well. So much CC on this Navi composition, besides the Crash and the Dread Serpent here. Hopefully Envy has some CCR in their loadouts, dropping the Dome Shield here, trying to prevent Navi from breaking this corner.
Rubu is doing his best to try to hold down, but Random Noob taking advantage of it and dying immediately. Navi have applied so much pressure to Team Envy. It seems like North America is falling by the wayside, but still 25 seconds left. Rock Monkey and the rest of Envy are getting themselves back and ready to defend, but I don't know, Nick, if this will be enough. At least it is for now, but still 17 seconds left.
You really have to give a ton of credit to Team Envy. They are playing very well here. They're giving all the respect to Envy, but at the same time, not being so afraid of them. Too respectful, you might even say there. Mutu gets taken out of the sky. Rock Monkey and Mutu, 2 of the star fraggers here. I feel like it's been a little bit quiet.
Oh my God, Creative's finding some big kills there. Goes into the stealth, they don't see him yet. He waits and he waits, but the patience doesn't quite pay off. There's just 2 tanky mechanics and mechs by that objective. It's gonna be a 1-1 here heading into round 2.
Shaolin, so far so good, I have to say. I agree with the pick. I think he's done a good job at finding the right targets as well. Creatives has to stay primarily locked in on Toki's Ruckus here. Rock Monkey trying to do the same from the backline here, just trying to keep that constant 90% anti-heal applied to the Inara. And Rock Monkey here dancing. Whoa. Nice little dash into the window. Intentional or not, it worked out.
That was perfect. My. We're seeing a little bit more Swift Jade than usual. I like the Noble Crest.
Garubu go here. 40K on the barrack. A lot of this is just going to be gut-shotting lazy over and over and over again on the objective, but damage is damage, pressure is pressure, and credits are credits.
Mr. Hayes actually doing a great job on the Ying. Creative places here. Spunky now on the down, but he's got a lot of control. Remember those stuns that made the difference. And that's the thing. All these small things are going to make a big difference. Phoenix gets so low, and now he needs Spunky to bail him out. He slowly is, and beautiful line of sighting there. Dread Serpent as well, and it buys some time. Creatives goes in with the... Oh my God, Selvin, he can't find a kill. Was this a waste thing?
So much damage coming out on the front side of the fight here. Phoenix simply will fall. All the pressure is put on him. How can you call it a loss, though, for Navi? It's a 1-for-1 so far, and 85% on the objective.
Are you kidding me? Nick, they got to figure a way to get this around. I love what Navi are doing. They're making Envy pay in the only way they know how. He tries to split the difference right in the middle of the sign and the boxes, but he cannot find the kill on the Creatives now. 45% for Envy, but they have not zoned. And it's just one retake and Navi win this point.
There it is. Hands go up here. Random Noob is looking for the kill on Mutu. He's going to get it over the top there. On the Creatives, finding pressure, soaring up, but wanting to stay low here. Doesn't make himself available to be fired. There's the Dome Shield. Team Envy are working the comeback.
What a shield. I don't even think Phoenix tried to block that, but it did, and now Envy have zone. They have found the kills. Nick, this is going the way they need. Lazy goes down. Envy now turning the tide, and they are trying to stop this Androxus. They need a kill. He cannot reset. The reversal's going to come up, but they find the kill. Rock Monkey shows up, and Envy, they grab objective number 2 here on Bright Marsh.
Mutu does touch, so this overtime will burn. Just a formality at this point, though. No way anyone from Navi gets in there in time to contest. And again, Navi doing all the right things here. It just takes them so long. They definitely got aggressive there. They put pressure on Navi's backline, trying to force back advantage, trying to get that kill a little bit early, but he did a good job just absorbing that pressure long enough. But again, that is the right idea for how you play around Inara.
What I'm seeing here as well. Random Noob is really, what a kill there. Double kill for the Noob. That bad man finds himself a triple. Looking to make it a quadra here. Is he going to do it against the world champs, Rock Monkey? Oh, you stole the show, buddy, but it's all good. Envy are happy. It's a full deicide on a Navi here, and they've still got 2 minutes, and they're already at half court.
Great stuff here from Team Envy. They're making a much better offensive effort than Navi were able to make. Golden Boy mentioned on this. This game is huge for Envy.
It is.
Each team get a map pick out of the gate, and then it just goes to loser's pick. Whoever loses this map will select where we play next, and at that point, Navi would have the home court advantage in a big, big way.
That is something that Envy are not going to want to have to deal with the entire game, but Mutu, who started off strong, has been kind of, I guess, the victim of Rock Monkey starting off a little stronger here in the middle round. Nice presence, and will get adjusted. Can't quite find the damage, though. Lightman is ready. Lazy getting poked out with the death attacks on the NR is a big deal. Mutu up. He doesn't find his angle, and now the reversal is going to have to buy some time. It does get damage, and actually quite a lot. And Tolki's forced to back off.
A little bit difficult. Not a lot of easy matchups here for Mutu to get in the backline. Rock Monkey forced to enlighten. Massive stun from Lazy. Rubu pops out quickly, but Rock and Tolki do not. And this just might be what Na'Vi needed to hold this defense.
It absolutely was, Nick. And however, Rubu's still making it out alive, and it almost was like, just die, get ready, get with your team. That's what Natus Vincere is so good at. They know when they're losing a point, they regroup, they have a full 5-man tank. And now I just wonder, do you go for it again? Because last round in Splitstone, it didn't work. You bet all your ultimates every round, and then they did, but it didn't work for you. Do you just try to save ults and have confidence in winning that point fight?
I think you have some big ultimates that you can spend here. Envy want to just keep going for the throat here. They want to make sure that they maintain pressure on Na'Vi. They do not want Na'Vi to be comfortable in this set. They pop the Ying ultimate. They're getting aggressive. Tolki's just barely staying alive.
But I got to tell you, Tolki could have killed both of the tanks there, and that was an incredible stun from Spunky to help set it up. Mr. Hayes, though, is still alive, and that means Rock Monkey has some life he can exchange with his support. Spunky's one shot away. Mr. Hayes finds the big kill. It's Rock versus Creatives, two of the best players in the world, and Rock Monkey comes out on top. But now he's got to fight against the Fernando, and I think the Spaniard may have him bested there. Random Nuke gets in, tries to fight fire with ice, but at this point in time, the story will not come to a conclusion. But Rubu is back, and a good barricade does save Tolki's life.
Mutu has so much penetration here in the back line because no one is there to stop him. It's just the front lines right now. Got to be on point with these punches. I've seen him miss a couple here. It's very unlike the T1000 to be off the mark at any point.
Good round, it will go tied. Heading into round 3, this is exactly what happened in game number 1. These two teams, well, we thought they were even. We're finding out they're evener.
Even we gave
That's good English. I don't want to hear a thing about it.
In and out, though, triple kill for Random Nuke. He's been absolutely on point here. Despite not having the easiest matchups of all time here, his EV has continued to impress.
I think he's done a great job. I mean, this is the heavyweight to carry.
Yeah, straight up.
And especially against Mutu's Androxus. So shout out. But also Creatives, I think he's been phenomenal on the shot lane, which is a pick we didn't see. But I know Na'Vi have held some things in the tank. They have not been tested. This is the first time they, I think, are truly tested. They're bringing out everything. There is no more saving strats. If you're going to bring your Shaolin out, it is time. And Random Noob, he finds Mutu, but Mutu knows where the wormhole is. Oh my God, he hits, oh my God, he hits both mid-air shots. Random Noob popping off, and now Mutu thought he had the angle, and he's forced to retreat.
See, guesses that one though, throws it back onto the objective there. Will land it onto the barrack shield, the cursed arm up in the air, but in and out. Random Noob is in some trouble here. No ice block to save him, and now Rubu looks like a lamb to the slaughter.
Oh, but Mutu is in trouble. Big headshot though, heads will roll. They already have enlightenment there. Rock Monkey looking to catch these hands. Red Serpent from Spunky.
I mean,
double kill from Mutu, the Terminator, flicking them into the Shadow Realm as usual. And now 69% counting for Na'Vi. Envy have barely stepped a toe on the point.
These fights are so easy for Na'Vi if they can hit these big crowd control. The Dread Serpent, the Seismic Crash are easily how they are going to take this game down. Spunky slithers into trouble there. Mr. Hayes will get the credit for the kill. Lazy has got to save this team fight with a Seismic Crash. He will hit a couple, but they need to follow it up.
He needs to kill Rock. Mutu has to kill Rock, and he does. Random Noob, though, finds 2. And this is the big one. Random Noob in the back line. He's got to hit the mid-air shot. He's got to get Mutu off the board. He does. Random Noob, that bad man coming through for Envy clutch. And this may put them in the driver's seat yet again.
There it is, 93% for Na'Vi, 93% for Team Envy. Creatives is going to fall, and Envy will grab yet another payload. One more offense here, and they could get themselves on the board.
And I just, you know, you can't count anything for granted. Random Noob is absolutely putting on one of the shows for the ages on this Eevee. The fact that he even hit those 2 shots forced Mutu into a defensive position at the start of the round, when he could have easily just snowballed that fight and then gone into the back line. And now he's got the double kill, he got the triple kill, he's found him twice, he trades out here, but it puts him in an advantage because he does it 2-1, and now the Enlightenment takes down Creatives. Envy are snowballing this fight. This could be over soon.
The Hexifier comes out, Lazy's just taking it on the chin though. Lazy will eventually fall. He does a good job managing to contest the payload there. Spunky as well, so they want to just put him down to keep the payload rolling.
Gotcha, I feel that. I was also going to say maybe just stall it out, and that was smart by Spunky.
There's pros and cons to either.
Pros and cons to either, but I mean, you take a guy who's back-to-back-to-back, And I say get him off the board as quick as possible. I agree with Envy there. It was a question mark, but it does make sense, especially with the payload not moving. 1:25 now on the clock. Random Nuke blinking in, blinking out. Envy, they're trying to do something that nobody has done this year, which is really challenge the champs, challenge the gods, the David and Goliath here in this story. And I wouldn't pass Goliath this time to take down David, but so far they're putting up a big fight here on Brightmark.
5 champions versus 5 champions at the moment. A lot of ultimates coming online for either squad. It's about who wants to spend. Team Envy in a position to force Navi's hand because the game will end if Envy can cross the finish line.
They already used the illusory rift, Nick. Trouble. They use the world is starting to look good for Envy. Can they push this through? I think the Hexafire is going to come out as well, and it seems like it's still 66%. Random Nuke finds finds Lazy, and Mr. Hayes finds Mutu. If they get creatives here, he does. Tolkien finishes it off. This could look good for Envy.
Spunky goes down. It's just Phoenix alive. He's already burned as Immortal, and it will be Team Envy. They go for the throat. They hit the mark, and they will get themselves on the board.
The team that had to win Game 2 won it. And that is what this World Championship has come to. I don't think there's a David and Goliath, Nick. I think it's Goliath versus Goliath. I think these two teams are giants in their own right. I'm almost a giant. I almost hit my head on the jib there. I guess I'm taller than I thought.
Yeah?
Well, I stand next to you. I don't think
Big
so.
man.
Let's send it back to the desk here. Golden Boy, take it away.
Thank you so much, Evan. Thanks, big man. Appreciate it, buddy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a match here, folks. That's exactly what you want to see for the Paladins World Championship. Envy Answer back on Brightmarsh, and I said, I was talking to Rain Day about it. I said it. I was like, I feel like if Envy are able to bounce back in Game 2, we're going to find ourselves in a match here that could go the distance potentially.
I mean, so much goes right for them during that. And there was a lot that was a little shaky. I mean, Mutu looks incredible on that Androxus, but it wasn't enough alone. He needed some help from creatives, and when you turn the tide towards Envy, or you turn your eyes over there, you see every single one of them contributing things. If they can keep firing on all cylinders and Navi have these small missteps, that's what you need for a World Championship.
You're going to see, I'm going to explicitly disagree with the fact that Mutu looked incredible on that Androxus. There were some highlight moments, but it was inconsistent play. We saw a number of Defiant Fists miss a kill, which is a critical thing for that you need to be able to pick up when a Liana's kind of dancing around you. And we also saw critically creatives have an impact on round 1 on Shaolin, and then after that was a bit of a sleeper right there. We're going back to the fact that we're tracking some consistencies. First of all, both teams have won on first pick on their map pick right now. Ying has won 2 games in a row, but more critically than that, creatives, again, if they are not performing at the level that they need to be, is a weak link in Envy's, Navi's armor here, and Envy now know to exploit that.
Well, let's look at the overall stats for Game 2 on Brightmarsh Access Replay post-game stats. And well, you have Random Noob again with a big game on that Eevee. Creatives got a little spicy. Tried to go with the Shaolin, didn't really work out.
Look at Mutu, 9 and 13. That's one of the critical points that we're talking about. And Navi relies on, again, playing basic Paladins, but being better than you in every single way. So they create a lot of even pressure. There's a lot of parallel positive pressure that comes from Navi. If they have a single weak link, all of their champions and all of their performances start to drop a little bit here. Whereas Envy, they are just running on, as you mentioned earlier, all cylinders.
Rubu is just ridiculous. I don't know what it is that he is able to do that every single game as a front line, he is always going to be sitting either tied with or above his own damage dealers in terms of his damage. And it's just, I think that is one of the big things that comes into it. Like, we're looking at Mutu, we're looking at creatives and their lack of performance, but I feel like there's also just, if you have Rock Monkey as well as Random Noob performing, and then you add on Tolkien and the fact that Rubu are matching their damage, you have to have an insane healer. They do. Spunky's really good, but you can only keep up so much.
Well, it's been very clear as well, based on the bans and where we're kind of trending more toward, that the front lines, if you get a front line that performs at that level, it's so important what they can contribute to the team. And well, let's find out what our Steel Series MVP is going to be. Who will be the MVP for game number 2 on Brightmarsh? And it will be the damage of Random Noob. And I was going on about Rubu, but you kind of have to give the love to Random Noob for what he did in that game.
And again, it's all because Envy are just firing from every single... There's damage from every direction. And when you're making space with frontline, your damage dealers can shine. When your damage dealers are distraction factors like Random Noob are, your frontline is free to get into the enemy backline and just start bullying. And that's what Team Envy have been exploiting so far. So unless Na'Vi find a way to rally around and either deal with this really annoying Eevee, which they did on Split Zone with Cassie, which was then banned out, or if they find a better way to just deal with frontline straight up, they're going to be suffering.
It's in the picks and bans. It's always in the picks and bans, right? You have Envy kind of banning out creatives here, not letting them get what he wants. There's just a lot of counterplay that's going on here. Game 3 is going to be very interesting. I want to know what the map is going to be for Game 3, and almost as if I have this power gore. And map 3 will be Jaguar Falls.
Jaguar Falls and Bright Marsh are incredibly similar in terms of the playstyle that you're going to bring and pretty much the draft you're going to bring. The point is, in a same sense, going to be kind of covered. There's not too many entrances in there, so you're looking towards maybe Inara being a big factor. But Envy just showed that they can play against that. That's not going to be a high priority for them. And even if they are able to get it, then I'm looking towards what they're able to do with their side tank. What they get that Fernando, if they get another Ruckus, what they can do.
Now that may have been a little deceiving for you guys, because you're looking at it thinking to yourself, wait a minute, right now this is Paladins 2018. What's going on? Well, we had our World Championship back in January, and we're having another one here in November. So within the span of just less than a year now, we've had 2 World Championships. And Na'Vi are looking to secure those championships, get themselves on that plaque 2 times there.
It would be really confusing to see Na'Vi as the PWC champion, like the champions 2018, and then right next to it, it says 2018.
I feel like this is the sequel. That's what this is, right? This is the sequel. All right, here we go. Picks and bans for map 3.
I'm not shocked to see that Na'Vi's map pick, as they lost the last one, they're playing first pick again. Now, what's really interesting about this is during the semifinals, Jaguar Falls was banned out, so Envy didn't get to play this in the Space Station Gaming and Envy set. Na'Vi, though, they did, and they rounded out their set versus Fnatic on Jaguar Falls, taking the 4-1 win. At that point in time, they played Barik, Lian, Maldamba, Ruckus, and Drogos. They played a pretty varied team comp, but it's that one pick which I'm looking towards here. It is the Drogos, which I think is going to come into play more on a very compact map. We know that Mutu loves that combustible playstyle, but we know that Random Noob is one of the best Drogos players in the world, and that will be a pick in high contention here.
Still heavy frontline focus for these bands, and then there goes the Cassie. So that's a little stab at creatives there, but the Barrett not going to come into play, so you won't have Rubu on that.
And again, it's just the amount of damage he's been able to put out. He's very aggressive, and Barrick is actually probably one of my favorite frontlines on this map, just because of all the places you can place the turrets, the control he can give. If you are looking for someone to rival Inara here, that's probably your best champion. But letting Khan through for either of these teams is always going to be deadly. One of the highlights that comes to mind is Khan with Phoenix picking up a triple kill during the fall split. So it's something you got to keep your eyes open for. It is a huge threat.
Intelligent choice here for Envy, going immediately after the Inara and the Lian. You want that Lian for the back line, but also the Inara, because you can actually like wall them out from the point completely, Box.
And also, it's not just that. Again, they're bullying creatives right here. And one thing that was interesting, I think the reason that we saw the Barrack ban come through from Na'Vi is because they really struggled playing into the double deployables that Envy were putting up against them on Bright Marsh, because they were playing a lot of direct damage. This to me telegraphs the fact that Na'Vi are going to be looking primarily to not play that blaster on this map. They might look for the Androxus again. They're going to be looking for more direct damage dealers. Envy, though, they have Inara, Lian, Maldamba. Androxus being stripped away preemptively puts, again, creatives in a very tough spot. I mean, we might be looking towards maybe a Willow pick here. We might even see Na'Vi feel forced to pick up the Eevee.
That's going to be very interesting to snag away the Androxus just when you think you're a little comfortable, Na'Vi. Maybe they're going to go for the Eevee because they've been doing it all this time.
Well, it's also very preemptive because Mutu loves playing the Drogos on this map, and Androxus being the primary airborne counter just kind of restricts them. So they're going to go with the Charlene again, whereas in reality, I think it's an okay pick for creatives. I don't think it's necessarily a bad pick for creatives, but the Xin pick, this is some spice that I am loving right here.
I think Xin can bring in bringing a little bit more to the table than what we're going to see. The Shaolin, I'm actually on the fence about now because last game it was not impressive enough for me to think warranting going again. But with no Cassie, no Leon, Creatives has to go on to something. But Zen can bring a whole new realm of damage to you.
And then you get the Torvald out as well. Okay, this is a very interesting draft. Vox, what do you think for Jaguar Falls?
I am loving what Na'Vi is bringing with the Xin. It's the first time we're seeing Xin at this specific land. We saw them in the placements a little bit, and they made a real splash. Back in the placements, we were saying the flanks would decide everything, and here it seems that maybe it's up to Creatives, but we'll have to see how this pick performs.
As much as I like Envy, the way that they've drafted this, I think that the aggression is going to fall on the side of Na'Vi. I have to lean with them for the draft.
All right, well, it seems like the desk is for Na'Vi, but Envy have shown us that they could dig deep and take the W numerous times. It's now time to go into game number 3 in our Paladins World Championship Finals of Na'Vi and Envy. Let's send it to your casters.
Thanks, Golden Boy. Game 3 here on Jaguar Falls. You know, Pretty Air, I like the Andro. I like the Andro Torvald even better.
I like both, yeah.
Do you think this is going to work out for Envy?
I mean, it's definitely a high-pressure composition here, and I really think it's up to Rock Monkey this time. I think Rubu was ruthlessly attacked in the draft. Almost every single one of his picks was taken away from him or banned. Torvald is not something we really see from him very often, so I don't think he's the win condition here. I think it has to be Rock Monkey.
I think Rock Monkey is in a very interesting position. And talk about random noob and his flexibility there onto the Leon. That is going to be important, but Mutu is a very, very good Zen. And they're going to have to worry about this Yomi, and there's so much damage on it. Already burst the bubble of the Torvald. 30% now for Natus Vincere. They're going to have to get somebody off the point, and that somebody is lazy per usual. A big flank happening here.
Khan's in. If they do a good job sticking together, that could be something very, very difficult to break apart. Rock Monkey's nearly one shot there in the back line. He won't be able to put some pressure on for some time.
Oh, man, that was just a complete fail. Natus Vincere just a step ahead here on the side of Team Envy. The bubble has been good, but they have not made their way around. They just couldn't get to that back line, and Natus Vincere have started off with a bang. Mutu is looking so dang good on this Yomi Zen, and I don't know how they're going to stop him.
I mean, it's very difficult, right? You have Shaolin stuns to worry about. You have the Zen that can put the whirl through your reversal. You can spite through reversal. There is a lot to lock down Rock Monkey. He has got to be so careful.
And I mean, you talk about enlightenment, but counter, pillow, you know, whirl, like he has so many tools as well. I just think there's a lot going on in Natus Vincere's draft, and especially with the way Lazy's still controlling the objective. That's the one thing with Venara I would have expected to not happen at this point.
It's just the Envy frontline can't do what they've done all tournament long. They have helped and do kind of what Envy or Na'Vi are doing now, making things so easily, and you get to see that delicious damage amp coming through from Mutu Zen.
This is just wrong, Nick. This shouldn't be allowed. That is just too much damage on the battlefield, and Team Envy are falling, crumbling like a cookie here on the defense, and I think Natus Vincere, without any contest, are going to push this one through, but it's up to Envy to use some ultimates to stop this.
And it's about damn time we see Khan played this way. He's the Primus, man. He is there to serve and protect and help you achieve your goals. There it is, up over the top. Cheeky there for Mr. Mutu. He lands a spite on a Rock Monkey and shuts down the only hope Envy have from winning this team fight.
And I love it. The Yomi Zen just working the man, the Terminator. He has been activated, ladies and gentlemen. Mutu going into the back line as well. Finds the Yomi swing and he backs off. And now it's Random Dude who has a chance, having to switch onto the blaster, then immediately onto Leon. That's something that we've seen FRC God do. Random Dude is in that caliber, but it's so hard. And it has taken a minute. Hexafire used by Phoenix. Na'Vi want to push this through.
There it is. Hexafire will make its way through the wall as well. Noob shuts down Mutu. Both the carries up and alive. Creatives, deep dive, high risk to the back line here. It's a 1v1 for the payload to go through. Lazy's going to throw him off. Lazy wants to try and get this one through all on his own.
Are you kidding me? Lazy. Welcome to Natus Vincere. He can't get it though. That was so close. What a play. And there's still 35 seconds left, Nick. It's not over.
I don't even think he missed the shot either.
That
Nearly
was insane.
Optimal play from Lazy there, but he's kept the pressure so high onto Team Envious here, swinging for the fence. Creative's already found one. Mutu is just beating into Inara on the objective she's going to give.
And that looks like it is still going to be a Natus Vincere push. And oh my God, Lazy almost with an incredible
Bringing the thunder. I love it.
display. And you know he hesitated for about half a second.
I think so.
And if he did it half a second earlier, he pushed that through. That would have been the best, I think, push I've ever seen. That's a Lazy ult, baby.
That is a Lazy ultimate. Long live the meme. The meme is dead. Lazy on the biggest stage of the world. He's making the big grand final types of plays, though. I mean, he has got to do that type of stuff. You have to take risks in a set that's this close.
The thing that I think gives Envy a little bit of hope here, though, but I mean, man, how much hope can you have against a Natus Vincere team who looked this dang good and Mutu firing on all cylinders, is the fact that they didn't really do anything last fight. They tried to flank, it just didn't work out. They didn't even fight. So I wonder if they take a different route. Maybe they try to go dark room on the right side towards the beach. I feel like that may give them a bit of an advantage, but nope, they're still going left. Rubu and Rock working together here, but now they do go towards the middle, and Mutu, so patient, finds an angle on Rubu.
Staying away from the silence as well. Hits the Elby strike. Silence the way. Mutu can't pop any cooldowns while Torvald's got a hold of him.
It's kind of like we saw that coming, right? But Rock Monkey turned around so well. That's why they put these two together. They were on the PGS team in November to get SK Gaming down and make sure that, oh man, I can't believe I'm talking about Bitey again. I gotta give him some love. But that's the history here. These two have been grinding, and they are now on the world stage, Nick, trying to do it against the champs.
It's really just this simple. I mean, if Rock Monkey kills everyone, Envy win the fight. Other than that, it's going to be very, very difficult. Shut down in the Hyper Beam.
Nice.
Rubu is just not looking comfortable here. He's been so aggressive all tournament long. This is just not Envy's style.
And this is the difference. They get 89% on the objective, and they have the Inara. I would have thought that would have happened round one, but it didn't. Rock Monkey in trouble. You have to stay alive here. Big shot from Creatives, and it doesn't exactly land. Natus Vincere doing their best to hold. They've got 60%. They can keep it going here and take another lead. 3-0 would almost certainly guarantee them an advantage in this game and probably end it next round, or this round, excuse me. But here's the accursed arm, and Lazy on the point throws up the shield. Battle shout as well, and Inara goes for the seismic crash, but it's over to the left.
Hexafire is ready to go here, but Phoenix just isn't watching his 6 here.
Yeah.
So much damage is pouring out. Rock, how do you not finish that kill? He whips the punch as well. Phoenix cannot be allowed to live for that long. That is the reason that Na'Vi have time to stabilize.
My goodness, that was just Creatives also staying in the shadows way too long, but what can you expect? That's what stealth is kind of for.
Man, that's tough for Team Envy. I mean, they have comeback mechanic as well. This is looking like it could be a 4-0. Big ultimate spent for Na'Vi. Envy have a couple of things coming up to try and contest this, but they don't have command of the battlefield right now. That's all this is coming down to. Rock kills everyone, or Envy lose.
And this is incredible too from Creatives. He has pulled out the Shaolin once, twice, 3 times potentially if it keeps working this well. See ya later, Grandpa. He says thanks in his own kind of way. The Desert Wind popping off here, 1 minute and 40 seconds now, but Envy only have the Scion of House Ico, and she's up against the Primus. He taught her all she knows, and this doesn't look like a battle she's gonna win.
Waiting for the spike there. Mutu will miss just off the mark there. Almost actually catches random noob here. Rock Monkey is going to push forward. Torvald behind him. This is it, the win condition. Sean Boswell, can he get it done?
He needs to, but he's not gonna right now. I don't see this going any other way besides the defending world champs. It looks like Rubu is falling, like I said, to pieces. A nice whirl, and it's Mutu stealing the show here for Natus Vincere. Hexafire trying to secure it, and Mr. Hayes is just battling back as hard as he can, and the Enlightenment better find something, but it gets a big fat goose egg.
He's gonna rip on through here. Still more pressure from Team Envy trying to hold on here. The kill feed's starting to fill up red. That's 3 in a row here. Envy showing some signs of life. 4-0. It will hold for now.
And look at Spunky. He's trying to run away, but I think Rock Monkey has an idea. Oh, playing with your head. Almost broke his neck there. Nice job from Spunky to just stay alive as long as possible, but that will delay the inevitable, which is Natus Vincere getting back together as 5 and having one more chance to push.
This is the ultimate, the overpower. It's ready to rock, it's ready to roll. Kevin Jensen will look for the big pull here. He will crack open this defense. This positioning here right on the edge of the map, moving wider and wider. There's the angle. The pick is up and it's good.
The lazy ult has been born again. The overpowers from Khan, the dominance from the Primus of House Ico. He's showing you how it's done. Shooting the freedom guns from North America. A bald eagle is bicep lifting 400 pounds on his bullets, but that doesn't stop Natus Vincere from taking this one for Europe. They go up game 3 and take a 2-1 advantage.
That's really, really big, especially for Mutu. After that performance in game 2 where he just admittedly does not hit the mark, that's a great game from him. Lazy says this kid is absolutely untiltable, and game 2 certainly looked like that though. It looked like that scene from Rocky 4 where the Russian finally gets cut. Ivan Drago finally starting to bleed here, but Mutu is not ready to go down.
And that was an incredible performance. And Zen maybe not what they expected on the side of Team Envy.
I don't think so.
And this is something they will now expect for the rest of this set. Game 3, that was awesome. Let's send it back to the desk, break it down.
GG there. Absolute destruction from Na'Vi. Clean sweep 4-0 on Jaguar Falls. It's a good thing that the water's nearby so that, you know, Envy could take a bath after just being dumpstered on for that entire game. That was not pretty.
So much just goes wrong for them, right? Like, there's maybe the first round, you're like, okay, you reset, round 2, you come in. Rock Monkey misses so many shots, so many punches. Like, that Androxus has, like, zero impact in the fight.
There was so much, like, value that they were putting into that Androxus, in dare I say, almost an unfair amount that they were putting on to the Androxus.
Yes.
That's very hard to do, and you don't have anyone else that's actually going to be laying in some damage.
It was a very preemptive pick, and the one thing which I'm noticing throughout this, I feel like Team Envy is almost hurting themselves to a degree with this Cassie ban.
Themselves.
Because by banning it away, they're also removing one of the most reliable champions from Rock Monkey's champion pool, and that's a little bit risky right there. But the individual play definitely comes into effect with this. We can't deny the fact that Mutu's play was phenomenal on this in. We must also note a few consistencies again in the draft. Ying has been first picked in that second pick phase for the first pick team 3 games in a row. Every single one of those games has been a win. Ruckus, 2 games in a row. Coming in pretty late in the pick phase for the first pick team again. 2 wins right there. We're starting to track consistencies throughout this set, and what we're seeing now is a little bit of a buffer, a little bit of a safety room. I like what Na'Vi, I like what Envy were originally doing by looking to maybe ban out and put some pressure onto creatives, but after that third game, I think it's definitely been proven that Na'Vi can flex to adapt to that. I think we need to start seeing them focus on the cores right now, and they want to look towards maybe banning out that Ying and evening the playing field somewhat more.
Yeah, it's just, you want to find out what the base is, and then from there try and isolate it. And they thought that it was the Cassie. Maybe it is, but clearly there are other things as well.
Absolutely.
And this is the scary part about this championship Na'Vi team and what they bring to the table. Well, let's take a look at the post-game stats presented by Access Replay. And let's see here. What do we have? Well, looks like that Shaolin worked out for creatives.
Yeah.
At the very least.
And there's a very big reason for that. This time, creatives wasn't being pressured out all the game by an Eevee pick. This time around, you had Mutu creating space, so creatives was allowed to do the thing which he wants to do. And we can look at the damage numbers coming through from all of Na'Vi right there, and there's the parallel pressure that we were talking about, that positive pressure from the front lines, which matters so much, especially Lazy.
I mean, my eyes are partially on them, and Lazy made some ridiculous levels of plays. But I also want to say that Random Noob was uncomfortable. He was 2-10 on Leon. He didn't have a lot of damage. And that's the thing. It was Random Noob on Leon. It's not something he normally goes to. It's not something they normally give to him. Hit scan is not usually something you try to pressure him out on. So this seemed like a draft that came through from Envy, and that Na'Vi were just able to abuse it.
Yeah, it was like they're, I mean, besides the joke that they're playing themselves, but they're just out drafting.
They kind of did.
They're overthinking this draft, perhaps. And yes, you're right. Well, your Steel Series MVP is going to be Lazy on that con. That was, I mean, that overpowered was ridiculous. That was so awesome. The one, I mean, I feel so bad for Inara. You basically just grabbed this rock creature and flung the rock over the cliff. Its own gravity plays a role there. This is the play right here.
Oh goodness, I got a big question for you. So we know that this was originally part of the Temple Isle map set. Down the hill from there is Serpent Beach and then Frog Isle. Do you think that Inara skipped across the water enough times to make it to Frog?
Oh, that could be very interesting. Actually,
the dent in the top of the Frog Isle statue is from Inara bouncing so many times and hitting it.
You know, you guys might be onto something here. Maybe we should be writing the lore here on the desk. I think we got some of the Paladins guys in front.
We can take him out of the way there.
Let's do some lore. All right, well, we got to tell the story of this matchup for Game 4 now. It is going to be Envy's pick, and they go to Ascension Peak.
I'm wondering if they want to go back to like sniper kind of play. Like it just feels like a weird place to go, because I feel like Na'Vi have maybe a little bit more here to go for them than Envy
But
do.
they went sniper play on Split Zone. I mean, they lost 4-3. Yeah. It wasn't like the best showing.
And Ganessa, like, it's something you can pull out on this map, her and Strix, but it's just, it hasn't been great. Every single time it comes through, there's like very limited amounts of places you can stand, but it's something that I know if you're comfortable with it, if you can go for it, like it could swing things in your favor, but so much has to go right, and you really have to win not only the draft, but everything in the first round has to go your way for you to even get set up.
For me, it's just the fact that it's a map, right? Envy have played this twice during the World Championship so far. They've only won it once. Na'Vi have played it once and lost it once. So realistically, it is a map that favors Team Envy in the terms of their history so far. What this also tells me is that this time around, Envy are going to be looking for a different style of composition. They're going to go back to focusing on front lines, which is such a paramount part of the Ascension Keep compositions, rather than trying to maybe focus too much on creatives.
All right, well, let's see the picks and bans for Game 4. The map, Ascension Peak. The score, 2-1 in favor of your defending world champions, Na'Vi. But the boys in blue, they have to find an answer back in this best of 7. If not, Na'Vi will be series point to being two-time world champions within the same year. The Torvald's going to go, and then you have the Makoa instantly. Don't want to let the Makoa through at all, and then now it is Envy's turn to ban here. Let's see what they go with, Fox.
I think it's probably going to be, if anything, they might take a target ban right here. They might look towards frontline again. Taking the Inara away would be really good, but it'll actually be the Androxus right now. This spells that they're looking to put Random Noob back on a more comfortable champion, because this opens up so much more blaster potential without the Andro threat.
But what does Na'Vi do here in response?
I mean, at this point, I'm still maybe looking towards some of the front lines. Fernando, Barrick, the things that Envy can run very well on this map are going to be a big con, as definitely another huge target.
Kind of have to.
Again, you can't. Yeah, again, you don't want anyone at this level of play, especially from these two teams, to pick that up. But you leave open the Fernando, you leave open potentially this Drogos that I expect to see Random Noob go for because of the prowess he can show on this map as well.
It's a really tough one right here, because Na'Vi, they probably want the Inara. They know that they want the Ying as well, because that is so useful on this map, but they have the Drogos in high contention. I wouldn't be too surprised to honestly see just straight up a Drogos Ying coming through from them here.
So that no front line.
Maybe if those picks are more of a higher priority, the Ying certainly is, and I feel like they need it, because if Envy get it is the Lian. If Envy get the Fernando and Drogos now, they don't need to pick a support, so they could go Inara Drogos, and then they have the tanks that are impossible to kill, and they have the tank killer, which becomes impossible to kill because of Immortal.
Oh, but they grab Cassie, taking that away from Creatives, who had such a strong performance in Game 3. And Cassie's such a great base character. You also have Ruckus that has kind of been that character as well, that champion that has really set the tone for a lot of these teams here. But this is kind of weird not to see Inara going within the first round. Even Ash going before Inara. This is a world that I don't know if I want to live in.
I wouldn't be too surprised if Inara, if she's going to get picked up, it would be right here, because it's just that we want to be able to last pick whatever damage champion is going to be best for us. Leon's already kind of pushing away the Drogos, although it's not going to be enough, so that opens up a little bit more for Na'Vi to find a counter for that if it comes through. Fernando and Ruckus, though, are just so good for Envy. I'm really excited to see like what kind of play they want to go, and it's actually going to be the Eevee instead.
Wow, this actually plays a little bit more into the style of composition which Envy has liked so far, which is the more frontline heavy bully compositions. They don't like that we're going to stand up, point, and sustain like Na'Vi can do with the Inara. So they grab the Eevee here to supplement. Again, I was looking towards maybe the Drogos and the Willow coming through, but Random Noob's performance in at least that second game on Bright Marsh definitely justifies this as being a power pick for them.
Well, let's see what the answer back is going to be, and it will be the Vivian.
Oh, wow.
So they get Vivian. Everything's been set.
Oh, no.
What do we got? Gore?
I'm giving this to Na'Vi. I think Vivian is the perfect pickup. It's great against Eevee, it's great against Cassie, it's great against Nando, it's great against Ruckus, and Maldamba, unless he finds a good stun, he's dead.
Na'Vi for me as well. I think the draft, they win it, but it comes down again to can Envy make space with their front lines to let their damage dealers really fly.
This is going to be a challenge here for the boys in blue, but Na'Vi want to be series point here at the Paladins World Championship. Can they do it? Let's send it over to your casters. has reined in pretty here.
Hey, thanks, Golden Boy. I think it is the moment that both teams have to step up and either seize the opportunity to win a championship, or on the other side, if you're Envy, just trying to seize an opportunity to stay in this fight. Going 3-1 down to the defending champ sounds impossible to get around.
This is, I think, a really smart draft by Navi, and I'll tell you why. You know, the Des was talking about how surprised they were to see Hanara staying alive. I think Navi realized how frustrated the Envy frontliners must have been after that game, how helpless they must have felt.
Yeah.
And those guys are going to do whatever they can to get on something hyper aggressive. I don't think they want to run the Sonara again. We can take our time and get this one going for ourselves. It's game number 4. My Paladins fans, Smite is sounding real loud. I need you guys to make some noise for game number 4 between Navi and Envy. Let's get it going.
Let's do it, baby. I am ready to get this game started. Just thought you might, I might have said something else, I've already had my bread this morning, so I don't need any more. And we got to see if Random Noob and the rest of Envy are going to find theirs. Random Noob going up, and he's going through the window, through the wall as well. Can't quite get any damage off. Mutu has found the flank. He hits one shot under the deflector shield, but it is not enough to dissuade this damage healer from choking them out.
33%, and First Blood finally will come through for Random Noob here. He's been playing phenomenally on this Eevee. It is an entirely a performance-driven character. You either go in or you go home with this girl.
And that is what's so important about Random Noob. He has shouldered this weight. And last round, I didn't like Leon. I like it back on the Eevee. Go big or go home, in my opinion. Natus Vincere looking at a 3-1 lead. If they can keep this going, Creatives with a big kill onto the soaring Eevee. That auto aim helps so much in tracking her down, and a big presence as well. Natus Vincere looked fantastic at the start of his entry.
So dialed in here. Envy just pinned in the corner. Creatives, careful. He is managing to slide his way out of there. I think that's a good wall from Navi just to keep things going. Navi, too late, Tolkien. He goes down, and the payload goes the way of yellow and black.
And you hate to see that, because that hurts no matter what side you're on. Everyone's had that moment in Paladins. You're just right there, your toe is on the line, and you see the enemy team captures the objective. It's 2 minutes that you got to defend, and that's where Envy are as well. Not only defending this objective push, but defending their hopes, their dreams to try and take a world championship here today. No one really is thinking they're gonna do it. I think favor is going to Navi here, and so far, I'm looking at the play, I think they just look more clinical today.
Very, very critical game here for Envy. This is their map selection. And they're running out of maps. The deeper we go into this pool, especially in this best of 7 with 2 map bans per side, I feel like the map advantage gets, more and more incremental as they go. So these early wins are very important. Yeah, but it just comes down to the boys playing the game.
Love the performance here from Noob, and I think you have to go big with this Cassie. That's what Rock Monkey is kind of drafted for. They banned it last game, and now he's got it. And he needs to get that heal from Mr. Hayes to stay alive. Minute 25 now on the clock as Mutu holds down the front line. He has the Immortal. Hopefully you don't have to use it early. There's Mutu consistently pressuring out on the flank. This Vivian's been a lot more aggressive than we've seen.
Big Ying ultimate early on there. Red Serpent solo
still alive
on to Mutu. Gotta hit him in the kneecaps there. Get below the deflector shield. So much pressure comes out. Envy do not want to get this up.
And they're trying to finish off Lazy. And this is what's so good about Navi. What's so good about the Fanatics. These high-level European teams. They basically just reset when they know they don't have an advantage. They only take fights they feel they can win. And that just makes it so hard for Envy to catch them slipping. Right now, though, they still have done a good job of holding down the defense. This is a good choke where you want to see if Eevee can get to the back line and try to pressure out Spunky, maybe force him to go back to a little bit of safety and not heal up his front lines.
Deflector shield just to peek out here safely without taking too much damage in return. 30 seconds on the clock here. Navi don't have a lot of ultimates to spend to get this one through, but Envy don't have a lot to defend with. Just an Ice Storm versus an Enlightenment and assert dominance. If Navi really want to press it, they really want to go for this, I feel like they have a good chance.
16 seconds now. Big presence. It misses Creatives. He wanted that one, but he's not going to get it. Random Noob back in on the blink. He's going to blink back to safety. There it is, jumping up and finding the ground. Ash has brought the assert dominance, rallied here, but will it be enough for Natus Vincere to push?
Oh, it's these mid-range shots that are just killing Navi right now. That amount of pressure coming out from the Eevee, forcing out the light, and Random Noob has done so much to stabilize this defense for Team Envy, and he may just be the reason they hold.
But look at Creatives. The Leon is shutting down the Eevee so well. The auto aim is catching her mid-air. Navi 2-0, and you can see Phoenix. He's active. He is ready. He is talking. This is 2 points away from being 3-1 set point. away from another world championship.
That's why Na'Vi are just so great. Even when things are going, it could be going even better. Na'Vi talking about how they can improve despite a 2-0 lead in game number 4 here.
Crazy.
Tolkien just a little bit late to the contest there. Creatives is definitely a big part about shutting Random Noob down. This auto aim is certainly making him watch his back.
And that's something where this draft has started to get away from them here, and you can see why. These players are fantastic. Random Noob's finding good kills, but this aggressive front line, Nick, maybe too aggressive. Tolkien's 3-3. Rubu hasn't had much.
Yeah, it's definitely been difficult for Team Envy. The draft was really smart from Na'Vi. There's just really no other way to slice it here. A little bit of pocket strategies coming out in games 2 and 3. This is a more basic draft, certainly from both teams, but the order in which things came through was far from normal.
And there's the illusory rip. They know Rubu's getting in. And this is Rock Monkey staying so patient. He's trying to find these lines of sight. He can hit Lazy, but he needs to find meaningful damage. Misses the blast shot 1, 2, misses the third onto Creatives. The Leon still out in play, and they find the healer, Mr. Hayes. That is a horrible thing to see if you are a Team Envy fan.
Lazy is just walking everyone down. He's found 2 kills, and he's on the point, and he's still healthy. Phoenix and Creative filling up the kill feed here. Na'Vi starting to pick up steam. Comeback mechanic here. Hard committed by Team Envy. They get nothing on the objective and nothing in the kill feed.
This is a big moment. I don't know how they retake it. Maybe Ice Storm, maybe obviously Evie is there for the touch. She's got to get back in. North America, Envy, they are not looking strong here in the World Championship hopes. If they can't get a big kill, there's the Hexafire, Nick, to start it off.
Tolkien manages to bring one down with him, though. Not before Mutsu scores the frag on a Random Noob here. 99% overtime burning in favor of Na'Vi.
I like it, Nick. The presence comes through, and it's on to Rubu. He needs to go. The Fernando has too much damage, but overtime is taking away. The barrage, the rockets. He's got to get Creatives, but he's hiding in the corner and somehow makes it out. A big kill, though, on the Random Noob. He finds Creatives and Spunky, and I think this is it. The triple kill. Looking for the quadra. Oh, man. Rock Monkey comes back in, and Mr. Hayes says, let me get in on the action. Envy aren't out of it yet.
Close, but no cigar here. Team Envy, because they didn't capture anything, they have such a big mountain to climb, but it's Ascension Peak for a reason. It's time for Envy to ascend. They have got to get this rolling. They have the comeback mechanic. They have everything they need to succeed.
Illusory Rift. Na'Vi are not done either. Overtime ticking away and through the window and back to his front line. He blinks in onto Creatives, trying to find the kill. Rock Monkey in the meanwhile says, let me get this double real quick. He sets it up for Envy to take this point and stay in the game, but Lazy is fighting tooth and nail. Can he make it out? It looks like Rock Monkey's just too damn good. Double kill again, and Rubu gets in on it, and I think Envy are going to stay in this game.
Rock Monkey just goes under the radar in that fight, killing everyone. 10 streak for Team Envy. They're going to stay alive here on Ascension Peak for at least another round. The chance to tie this one up, but with the Na'Vi conversion in round number 1, if they're able to defend, they're going to go up 3-1 here and have a chance to end this game, putting themselves on championship point.
A lot of moments that could go either way. I was talking earlier with you as we were using our scooters to get here, such a way LA City boys like to do, like you and me are. Talking about the fact that, you know, this is a set that's going to be basically based on who gets that double kill, who somehow steps to the right instead of stepping to the left and avoids a big ultimate. These are the things that are going to determine the winner of the World Championship this year. This is probably the most hard-fought one since, obviously, HRX with Burrito and Gangstar. Excuse me. Yeah, Burrito and, of course, E69 back in the day.
So much on the line here for both squads. 136 in this round, fighting for every single moment here. These teams have come too far. They have fought too long to go down now. 128 on the clock here, but this payload is coming in hot. There's only a couple more seconds. Somebody from Na'Vi needs to get in here.
I think they're trying to. He hits his head. Oh, no. Sir Dominance wasted. And Envy get a bit of luck that might turn the tide in this matchup.
A rare mistake there from the Na'Vi frontman. Phoenix off the mark, bonks his head and gets that animation completed just a little bit too soon there. And that is the spark that Envy needed to reignite their fire here on Ascension Peak and finally turn the momentum around.
Rubu has plenty of fire in the Flame Lance of Fernando. The INAP instant replay shows us just how Random Noob turned the tide around. He hit one, hit the other. My God, that was a beautiful triple. His EV play, I gotta say, probably the best we've ever seen here on the biggest stage. Considering the stakes at hand, this has got to be a performance for the record books.
Absolutely is. I mean, EV players, certainly a big staple on land. Certainly something I'm very impressed with. It's not something that was very natural to him. This was picked up later, I think, in the season for him, and he has got nothing but better.
They trade out on creatives, and that's the Death and Taxes Leon. If you're not a fan of Paladins and you're just joining us, that's the big anti-heal that Na'Vi are bringing to this fight, which makes their front lines obviously beat out Team Envy's. But because creatives has fallen, that gives an advantage back to Envy. Now a big shot and the CC immunity coming in from Rock Monkey. He does not want to get displaced. He wants nothing to stop this train as it continues to roll. A nice disengage as well. Rubu comes back, says, I got you, brother. Team Purity hits a pure fireball, and that puts them in the driver's seat.
He hits the disengage and goes right under them there. Clean handoff of the baton there between teammates. Na'Vi, 30% on the objective. Envy in control, 69 and climbing.
And look at this, Natus Vincere. They are about to drop a second game to Envy, or at least give them the opportunity to take game number 4 and tie up this set unless something can happen. This is where Phoenix would hope, would pray to have an assert dominance, but he used it last round, and that's why it was such a big deal. He's 83%. He's got about 20% of his health bar left, and Random Noob has him in his sights. That bad man. And Envy grab the next objective, and they might just win this game.
Keep fighting back. Just keep going. One round at a time, 1 point, 1 payload, 1 shot is all you've got left. Envy, 2 minutes on the clock to get this one through. They could end the game here. And judging by what we've seen so far in this set, both of these teams, when they are on game point, they will go for the throat and try and end it.
And why not? If you find a stagger like they did last time, it is going to help. The Lucifer Rift with Spunky was used early. They also had creatives on the Death and Taxes Leon die quickly, and that was the 2 things I think that changed this. Creative now finds Random Noob. If the Leon can win the EV matchup, Natus Vincere are going to be fine here and head to the next round with an objective chance to win. If Eevee, they get the advantage.
Yeah, off the mark there. Phoenix cannot get the battle standard planted. He wants to fight, and Envy are more than happy to give it to him. Creative's deep in the back line there. He's not able to get it going, and Rock Monkey escaping and flying under the radar in these fights has just happened far too often. And when you look at this Na'Vi draft, it's really no surprise. Leon is so focused on Eevee. Vivian is clearly gunning for these shields and these front lines, and it's allowing Rock Monkey the space to finally do what he wants.
And the stagger. I mean, that's what it was all about, Nick. I mean, the assert dominance from Phoenix, he keeps it this time. He doesn't lose it, but he goes down. And then it seems like Creatives goes down, and then Spunky goes down, and then Lazy goes down, and now they're all trying to get back up, but it's 90% of the way. The payload's already been pushed. 1 minute and 4 seconds now. They've got plenty of time. They just have to hit their shots, and if you give it to Random Noob to pilot the Eevee, it seems like he's going to do just fine with that. The Ice Storm is ready. Phoenix is in trouble, but he can hit his head. He can assert his dominance, and buy 8 seconds of invulnerability whenever he wants.
That's big for them. They need to make sure resource management is on point here because Na'Vi's hand is going to be forced in this game. They're the ones that are going to have to worry about popping their ultimates defensively. Envy can just kind of give them a little head fake, a little pump fake here, try and get them to jump defensively, and then it's very easy for Envy to win this in the 3-3 next round with an ultimate advantage. So resource management, that is the key to victory at this point.
And Mutu holding left side with a Ying clone. That's important. That clone goes down. Mutu doesn't have that same amount of healing. Spunky has been poked out, and so he can't give any life exchange, which means although the Inara's tanky, she's not as tanky as she's always going to be. The wall goes up from Lazy in response. He's got to buy some time. Good heal for the Mending Spirits as well. Dread Serpent. Oh, they're going for it. They want Mutu. They got him. Rock Monkey finds the first kill.
And it could even be better for Team Envy. Right now, they have everything going for them. There it is. Assert dominance comes through. Phoenix finally gets it off, and he's going to hold strong for the next 8 seconds.
Where do you go? He's trying to figure it out. He's looking left. He's looking right. And it's Phoenix who's just standing there the entire time. Overtime has finally come to an end, or at least beginning here for Envy, because they want to push this through. They do not want to let this go to another objective capture. They want to finish the game before Na'Vi has a chance to.
Phoenix runs away. It's a big risk, but Lazy's able to hold it down long enough for him to get back in the spawn, heal up, and rejoin the fight. Rock Monkey has to roll away.
Yeah.
These health bars starting to dwindle for Team Envious. They haven't really popped anything, though. Almost back alive on the Fernando ultimate, and Na'Vi have nothing.
Now you get the Dread Serpent, but you get the Assert Dominance. You get the Ice Storm. I'm not sure what else they gambled there, actually.
That was almost an opportunity. The fact that Rock was able to pick up Mutu was big, because there was a tiny miscommunication there. Random blinks in, he hits a couple of shots there. The Dread Serpent connects right as Random blinks out, so there really isn't much follow-up there.
Yeah.
Rock hits this clutch shot from the other side of the map there that actually puts Mutu in the ground, and that was an incredible moment there. The front lines bringing in the heat here. Rubu certainly pissed off after last game. He is almost top of the charts this time.
0
ultimates.
3,
Not once,
2,
not a couple. Nothing for Natus, Vincere, and Envy. They have 3. The Ice Storm. I can't believe it. That Dread Serpent as well, naked, 66% charged up. That's almost beating Spunky's illusory rift. Mr. Hayes and all that healing he did last round is truly paying off, but these are the shots you have to hit. He hits one. He's probably got to hit another. It's 3-3 capture. If Na'Vi win, they are 3-1 and looking at game point, set point for another world championship. If Envy win, they tie it up and they guarantee at least a game 6. And it's so far lazy going down. Mr. Hayes with a huge stun.
Absolutely, and most of that Hexafire, while it does get blocked there, it scares everyone off the objective from Na'Vi. 39% in climbing. 1 ultimate was all that Envy needed to win that fight there, and they have 3 more to sustain through the storm that is no doubt coming from Na'Vi.
Ascension Peak, the map where all this battle has taken place, has served as a battleground for the Scion of House Ico and the Primus of House Ico as well to do battle against the Ascended, but no Genos is here now. It is just the Ascended North American team who have gone to the stars with their level of play, and the Immortal from Rubu, the full heal from Mr. Hayes, and now the Ice Storm onto a Ying clone might change the difference. Spunky a little bit faster than Random Noob was.
Red Serpent coming up. Mr. Hayes, this is your moment. You've got the only ultimate. He's going to pop it. He hits the fear onto a couple. Toki finds one. Lazy bouncing back. Mutu finds 2. Mutu's looking for 3. Walking down mid. Young Sun, he finds all of them.
The Terminator locks in, and Natus Vincere could be 1 game away from back-to-back world champions. But look, they're still 66%. There's no comeback mechanic, and they've got an Eevee. So we have to calm down here. We know she can get a touch in, but what can you do after that? What ultimates do you have to spare? Na'Vi have the illusory rift.
There it is, and we'll come out there. Big heals falling through. 93% now for Na'Vi. Envy have got to make their move. They got to get on this objective, but they're pushing into such healthy targets there. Mutu still alive, 7 HP. Mr. Hayes bails him out.
But Rock Monkey and Rubu find a couple. Rock Monkey, he finds 2. They call him the best player in the world, and here's why. Envy, they're going to tie this one up. Na'Vi can't touch back. This Eevee's too cold. That bad man. And Rock Monkey, they send it to another one, guaranteeing at least game 6. This isn't over, not by a mile.
2 apiece here on the main stage. The Paladins World Championship Grand Finals is starting to heat up. Incredible play from both sides there. Lazy visibly frustrated after that Na'Vi lost there. Things were looking good down the stretch, but they just barely fell apart.
It was an incredible kind of back and forth, and that's what they need to win. I think Envy, I mean, we saw Mutu pop off. Fantastic performance, triple kill. Then Rock gets a double, then Random Noob gets a double. 2 + 2 is 4.
Just fight.
That beats 3. And if Envy can keep playing like a team.
Quick maths.
And quick maths, baby. Yeah, I'm not wrong. And you ask Garrett in the stands, I'm not wrong. And so I think we're going to see how this one turns out. And 2 + 2 is also 4, which is what game just finished. Game 5 getting underway soon. Let's send it back to the desk, see what they have in store for us.
Quick, witty maths. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Oh, man. You know, they said it was heating up. It's more ice cold right now, ladies and gentlemen, because this has been an awesome matchup between 2 incredible teams. I was saying while the game was going on, if Envy do not win this, it's it. That's it. I cannot see them realistically coming back. But the solution is right in front of them, fellas. The solution is the ice switch. It's Eevee.
How do you stay cold under pressure, right? I mean, get some ice cubes out, get some frozen spells out.
Frozen margs. I don't know. We got kids in the audience.
I mean, he's just been ridiculous. Like, it was one of those things that it's like, okay, Eevee yesterday, it's like, you're looking pretty good, but it's the whole team. This was like, everybody else is looking all right, but Random Noob is firing off every single thing that is set up the entire time. It feels like he's the one driving it. Even when he's not around, it feels like he was having the impact. He was the one who was setting it up. He was the one who was making sure that Envy did not fall down.
And you know what I love most about Paladins, you know, coming from a variety of different games, is that you look at the ending fight there and you see the ultimate economy that Envy managed to have at that very last fight. But ultimates, while they're helpful, do not determine who wins all the time. It's about how you play around it and the individual plays. That's what Mutu did as Vivian toward the end there. But here are the post-game stats now. And Vox, what are your takeaways?
I mean, what did I say at the end of last game? Banning out Cassie was hurting Envy because it's one of Rock Monkey's best champions. 17-5, by the way. That is a slash line which you do not not want to have to go up against. Random Noob, despite all the kills, was more of the sacrificial lamb there. 10 deaths, but it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does not matter at all because Random Noob's presence alone, 17 assists out of that one. You had Mr. Hayes. Mr. Hayes had some big moments in that game as well. Everyone showed up when they absolutely needed to. Look at the damage across the board. Both teams just laying down the fire, but only one would stand, and that was Envy.
A lot of the things that we've seen, and I actually want to give a lot of credit to Mr. Hayes for some of the plays that were made there, because Dread Serpents are so crucial in certain moments. We've seen it during the fall split, and it's just, when we've referred to it as like channeling your inner Spunky, because Spunky's normally the one who is consistent with it, but Mr. Hayes has thrown his name into that hat just as well. The way he was able to play throughout all of that helped set them up, and it's just so many small moments Moldamba could just change.
And you know, one of the really important things about that as well is that as the game went on, we saw it in the stats that were just on the screen a moment ago. Ying still had the most healing out of both of the supports, but as the game goes on through, that healing comes from early game sponging. Once you get your anti-heal online, the supports are equalized more and more. It's the first time that Ying has so far lost in this final set, and that sets a trend that if these games keep on going the distance, we're going to keep on seeing that equalization. So again, it comes down to what picks make the difference, and this time around it really was the damage dealers set up again by a lot of the frontline from Envy.
Well, let's find out what our Steel Series MVP is going to be for this game. Who is it? And it will be Rock Monkey on the Cassie. Gets the Cassie in his possession and does work. Why am I not surprised, fellas?
I mean, everything that we have seen out of him in the past, again, you had mentioned it, Boss. Once he's able to get his hands on it, it can be game-changing. And I feel like, again, looking at it as a damage duo instead of just as Rock Monkey alone is where the strengths come through. Both of them setting each other up between him and Random Noob. And it's that kind of synergy that wins you a game. If you let one person have all of the glory, the other person has all the glory, someone isn't going to have that impact. The way they worked was perfect.
You know, so I'm going to pull a little bit back to the first game we saw in this set as well. Splitstone Quarry, right at the end of the draft, we had Canasta picked up for Rock Monkey, and I'm sitting here going, you're playing into a Vivian with an Eevee that you're using to try and take her down. I want something that can break down the shield and set up those kills. Cassie was already taken by Na'Vi. I would have wanted to maybe see the victor instead. This time around, Envy have the Cassie to break down that personal shield from the Vivian. They have the burst damage to finish her off. They can soften her up, and then Eevee can go in there and get the kill. Mutu had, I think, one of the most deaths on the side of Na'Vi, and that pressure was really showing.
Oh, man, it's just a mental game of chess that is being played against these two teams, and the game continues because now we're going to Serpent Beach. This is where Bidey's mother is currently residing right now. That's what he said. I don't know what that means.
This is his backyard, right?
This is his backyard, I think.
Timbermill was his front yard?
Yeah, Timbermill was his front yard.
I think it's Bidey's house.
I honestly, I don't really know. Bidey's house is actually Stone Keep. I think that makes a lot of sense. He's got the castle.
Is Bidey behind the magistrate here? Is that what's going on?
You know what? What if
Again, unpacking the lore.
We've been unpacking the lore little by little on this desk, and I think at the end, the magistrate is Bidey.
Do you side with the resistance or do you side with the Borkers?
I always side with the Borkers. Always side with the Borkers. I personally side with the Space Whales. Oh man, someone on Mixer Chat hates me right now. But if you want to spam Space Whales, go ahead. We got Bidey over there on the side, buddy. Much love to you. Seeing the Space Whales in the Mixer
like
Chat. He does look like the magistrate guy. Yes, with the eyebrows too. Okay, here we go. Picks and bans begin. We're going to the beach.
Oh, surprising. It's Na'Vi's map pick in their first pick again. Again, it's the trend which has continued throughout every game so far and has been a really big consistency. You want that first pick position, you want that prioritization, you want to be able to strip away that first pick, but also it's not just the first pick that comes through, it's the two after that are so critical because that's your kind of equalization point. You pick a high priority, the enemy team goes ahead and goes, oh, what can we not afford Na'Vi to go and get? Envy will strip away a couple of picks, and then Na'Vi has free reign on the rest here.
Typical bans here, Torvold, and Makoa. But this is where things get interesting. The Eevee ban comes through. Finally, Na'Vi says, you know what, maybe the Eevee's the problem.
A little bit.
On this map, too. Like, I mean, you're looking at the last couple of games, and it's like, that's been ridiculous. This is a map that I think is even better for Eevee, so I think that is a perfect ban for Na'Vi.
100% agree with that one, and Envy have to take out the Khan. Now it is Na'Vi's pick, first pick. Let's see what they do. It'll be Liam.
I like this. Again, it's comfort zone for creatives. It has a whole bunch of utility.
Yeah.
It's great on these more open maps. Valor will hit a lot of people. You can constantly spread anti-heal with death and taxes. 51% win rate, right?
Creatives happy.
I can't argue with the stats, but again, yes, keep creatives happy, keep the pressure split between all members rather than allowing one member to be kind of picked or banned out.
Now it's Envy's turn. Do they go for the Fernando? Do they take the Inara? They need a frontline presence here for that point. You're gonna have the Leanne looking on high ground, playing back. There's a lot of angles on Serpent Beach that you can play here with the Leanne. So Envy need to think about what they want to do here.
I know, Vox, the way things have been going, Ying is something that you think teams want to pull, like, or grab away, and that's actually kind of what we started to see during the placement round, was during this big phase, you would grab that away. But I actually prefer this because I think this has been part of the biggest success for Envy, is finding those champions that you can still be tanky with, you can still do the frontline thing, but you are going to put your name in that damage contribution. You can also set up Rock Monkey, you can also set up Random Noob.
Yeah.
You're not just standing there hoping that
you're not just
die.
taking in damage, you're dishing it out and taking it in. Lots of value in that one. Now it's Navi's turn.
Probably Inara Ying at this point, honestly. It's the safe duo to go with, and there's no reason why not to. I mean, you're splitting the pressure. Inara isn't counted out by Rekka, only Cauterize, so if you also then pull in something like an aggressive Ashe afterwards, it's a little bit more tricky there. You could go ahead and draft the Ashe now, but there's no reason to. Envy are taking double frontline. They're probably not going to take anything else, and this Ying just does so much for your early game pressure.
So the Ying and the Inara are locked in, just as our analyst said. That Envy now have a pick, excuse me, to settle on. And
I don't like the Tyra Hover, I'm going to be honest with you here. It's probably going to be the Maldumba. They're going to want to leave a DPS open for the last pick, so they're probably going to get long-range DPS right now. A Cassie would be what Envy would have as a reliable pickup here, and there it is.
Take that, Cassie.
Perfect for boxing out Leon, at least to an extent. That's kind of the matchup that it's going to fall down onto. But again, you're looking at Fernando being able to get a big burst with a fireball, Ruckus being able to throw out a missile barrage, like finding a couple of things to help Cassie and facilitate that damage.
Where does Random Noob go here? I'm genuinely curious.
Well, if they draft Willow or Drogos right now for Na'Vi, Random Noob goes to Androxus. If Na'Vi don't draft into these blasters, then we might see that Drogos picked up by Envy, but it's a tricky one. Envy love this very standard composition. They love the aggressive bully frontline, your open mid-range, and then your two backline damage dealers. They don't like playing flanks unless it's Eevee. But Na'Vi go ahead and they pick up the Victor right here. They've got a lot of spread area damage, a lot of direct damage now, great sustain. The Ashe is going to be that bully presence they need. They have an impeccable composition for Serpent Beach right now. Envy need kill potential.
They go with the Zen.
I like it and don't like it at the same time.
Well,
it's a really weird feeling to have.
Destroyed them on Jaguar Falls, so I get that, but...
Well, here's why they picked it. They need somebody to deal with Victor because Victor just free farms damage on this map. We saw Bitner pick up something like 50,000 damage in 4 minutes before. The Xin is the only champion who has a bit of vertical mobility left now in their kit besides the Androxus, and after the previous Andro performance, I don't think that it's worth drafting that champion.
Give me a team, Vox. Who's winning?
Na'Vi.
Na'Vi. Gore?
I'm going to lean Envy. I think this Xin can do work.
Oh, once again, the desk is split EU-NA. You couldn't have asked for a better matchup here. It's 2-2, and we're going to the beach. Let's send it over to your casters to get this bad boy rolling on.
A best of 7 has turned into a best of 3 here at the Paladins World Championship, the biggest stage that there can be for the game of Paladins, and we're so excited to bring it to you. Rain Day Pretty Hair yet again, and boy, oh boy, Serpent Beach. I love this map, man, and I think this is going to be such a great draft. I'm curious to see how the Zen works, though. What are your thoughts?
I think both teams have made really, really big pivotal adjustments. Too often have we seen only one team adjust per game, and this feels like both teams now are rolling the dice a little bit here. It's really on Random Noob. He has not had to play this pick yet this tournament. Neither did Mutu, though, and he looked great. Mutu not playing a ton of Victor either. I think both of these teams have made appropriate adjustments. It's all up to the performance of the guys that are on these flex picks.
And Mr. Pauly, Random Noob right there, he has actually shouldered so much weight, and I keep saying it, but I really think that the growth in his play is not just in his mechanical skill, it's in his leadership, it's in the willingness to take these picks that are a little harder for Rock Monkey. And look at this, has a Yomi Zen seen a sweeter sight, but he misses, and that's going to push him back. Natus Vincere still 57% on the objective. They've denied, they completely ignored it, and now they're going back to late.
Finally, they are able to get something in terms of pressure back onto the objective. Mutu doesn't know where he wants to go here. He's running out of HP, running out of time.
Wow.
Envy are filling up the kill feed, looking very, very strong. 60% for Na'Vi, though, when it's all said and done.
And that's a big kill. Rubu finds Spunky super late. I'm not sure they're going to have enough time. We know Phoenix is here. No ultimates yet on the board. This is a very fast point fight. And we will see the shoulder bash most likely get him into the contest. Team Envy, though, they have him all down, but we've seen that stop an entrance by a front line on the side of Na'Vi. Phoenix trying to set up for something cheeky, but 87% counting. He's running out of time.
It's just not coming. You just didn't give it to him. Nicely played there by Random Noob. Patience as well.
Oh my.
Phoenix just catching the 1v1 there.
Oh
Billows
my.
out. Shoulder bash. The dance moves from Random Noob are far superior than that of Europe's.
And look at that. Tolkien just on the high ground. The catwalk here is so dangerous. And Rock Monkey has all the room to play that he wants. Rubu is going to find Lazy as well. Envy look primed to take this objective number 1 here on Serpent Beach and go in the lead. Mutu has been exposed. Barrage is there. Hello, says Rock Monkey to Creatives. And Mutu. Random Noob gets in on the action. And that's going to be Envy most likely taking objective 1.
Just assassinated from the back line here. Na'Vi is not looking good on their map selection. And let's talk about what we saw just on the player cams in between games. I mean, Envy, smiles, laughter, despite, you know, the
Meta
pressure
pusher
that has
was
been
damn
put
near,
on this
you know,
one.
making
Yeah,
jokes.
Na'Vi dead silent there. Lazy, visibly frustrated after the end of Ascension Peak. This is definitely the momentum starting to pick up for Team Envy.
And look at Random Noob on a 6 streak again. Has this been... Oh, we won't talk about that. I didn't see that ice block either. I definitely didn't see that spike. He tried to get up there. It just was, you know, sometimes you take the risk, and that's the thing that I've loved so much about it. If anything, it just applies pressure. It does make them hesitate. It forces them back, and it buys time for Envy. Big fireball from Rubu. He's going to take down Mutu. Natus and Vincere are crumbling here. What is going on?
It's just, it's the front line back for Team Envy. They are prioritizing these very, very aggressive front lines.
What the?
Ones that are incredibly comfortable for them, and it is working out. Rubu and Toki are running the field for Team Envy.
Toki again, one of the big frontline duo. These two have been phenomenal. That's 3. He got a quadra yesterday. Well, this might as well be one. Phoenix, he's going to shoulder bash. Up, and down. He slams the ground, and that will buy Natus Vincere a bit of respite. But a minute and 15 gone, and man, that has not looked like a good performance thus far here on Serpent Beach.
Mutu getting aggressive there. The no-look grenade is good on top of the gourd there.
Oh, man, that was close.
But no cigar there. Mutu will live for now. 1 minute left on the clock here. Team Envy, a couple of ultimates to break the base here of Natus Vincere, and all they have to spend is at a certain dominance to get it done. Admittedly, though, that is one of their larger cooldowns.
And look at this. Lazy is really getting bursted down, and that's what that 850 strike does. It's burst. It's good damage. It's solid, but it's burst. I think that's Barrage as well. Mutu, actually, no. Saving that in the pocket. Running away. Has that in the tank if he needs to use it. And that is Tolki who's going to fall. So Natus Vincere have found a couple of good kills. They found that double there from Mutu. Big stuff from him. May turn it into a triple, but either way, it's just going to be a defense, at least for now.
Gunned down in the streets here. Na'Vi starting to fold. They need to maintain communication, though. I mean, they have to keep talking. They have to keep improving, figuring out what's going wrong and how they're going to adjust here to this Team Envy aggression. You saw a big, big pullback, and honestly, that could have been much worse. Random Noob could have hit a lot of Yomi damage there when Na'Vi was clumped up in the back line at the start of the round here, but that's what you have to be talking about right now if you're Na'Vi. Worry about how you're going to hold this defense, but certainly, how are we improving in the next round?
And Random Noob actually doesn't care at all about using his ultimate to just get onto the high ground. It's very important on Serpent Beach. Sin has no innate high vertical mobility, and that's something that obviously has put him in maybe not the conversation on Serpent Beach as much as people would have liked, but it still doesn't matter if you use your ultimate to get up there. Mutu, look at him. He's going to the back line. We've seen this before. It worked out on Splitstone, but is it going to work out here?
Pulls out the barrage there just to get some damage onto the front line. Mutu snakes his way to the back line. Once again, obviously these low mobility champions are not slowing him down. Phoenix, I think, feeling good about that defense there. Envy just get led on a little bit of a chicken chase there. And we're not talking Realm Royale.
No. We were talking about that this morning, though.
Earlier.
I do remember that.
Download the Chicken Chaser app there at Skillshot.com/chicken chase.
Thanks, ad guy. Was that the ad guy who just jumped into the
And
PWC
we're back from that
cast?
commercial break there.
Oh my God, thank you.
Glad we finally got that, but again, Na'Vi, how do we improve on the objective there? They had Lazy on the objective. That's not the problem. The problem is how do they absorb this aggression effectively from Team Envy and not get spanked in the behind by Random Noob?
What's the answer?
I mean, it's really difficult, right? That could have been so much worse. Again, Random Noob had an opportunity there to probably get a triple kill, but he was a little bit whiffy on the Zen early on.
Well, you can't whip these Yomi strikes. but you do have a lot of them. Zen has a decent amount of ammo, and look at this, Rubu already pushing him back with Fireball, controls his own. Look at that, Creatives is so low. And yes, Lazy is on the point, but that Mother's Grace and the Illusory Rift is going to keep him nice and healthy under the fire of Tolki's miniguns.
Counterpunch has to happen soon here. I mean, Envy are just controlling the entirety of Serpent Beach. Inara's parked on the objective. No kills have happened yet. Hexafire comes down onto the objective. Lazy is low. Lazy's bleeding out, but they don't finish him.
That is huge, and now Rubu is in trouble. And there's Phoenix going for the shoulder bash. He does get a little baited there, but there's not enough damage, at least yet, to find the front line. Mutu tries to go for a grenade behind the back, and it's going to at least buy some time, some pressure for his other front line, Phoenix, to get the job done, but it's Rubu who stays alive in the end. The fire is just too strong, and Mutu cannot stand the heat.
Rubu plays this phenomenally as well, working very hard to stay alive, connecting fireballs, big into the back line there.
Mr. Hayes.
And Mr. Hayes give Phoenix the business. Phoenix is struggling on Serpent Beach.
I mean, watch who you step to, huh? Mr. Hayes is playing lights out here. The support, the rock-solid core of this team alongside Tolki, and of course, Rubu allowing Random Noob and Rock Monkey to do their things. It has been phenomenal to see Envy grow like this. The body blocks, the Dread Serpent, Iron Madam, Inara's even running in fear. Envy look damn good here on Serpent Beach.
Straight to the high ground with that spike. You're seeing he's just using it for mobility here. 30% charge is retained, and you're good to go here. This is just the second dash, the next option for the Zen pick. And right now, Random Noob is doing a great job just being a presence there, just being that thing that Na'Vi are worried about backpedaling into.
I think there's no doubt in my mind that these are the two best teams in the world. And one thing that has happened this year is that Na'Vi, Fnatic, Envy have won their share of lands, but they've been the only teams to really beat each other, essentially, aside from, of course, a phenomenal kind of performance there from Space Station and doing so much for this community, representing that LATAM and Brazilian South American region. But these three teams at the top, man, they've only really battled against one another. Now Envy again showing they can go toe-to-toe with the defending world champs, but it's not enough. They've got to find a win. They have to take the lead and take home court advantage, home map advantage away from Na'Vi.
That's right, and how close this could have been. I mean, SSG taking Envy to 7 yesterday. Everyone at the top of the Paladin scene is very, very close here. Positive pressure coming out from Mr. Mutu. Vox's favorite thing to see. The Victor grenades in the back line are good for now, and they will keep Envy quiet for the next minute.
I think I saw Vox wave in the back line as well before blowing his nose. The man is putting in work today. And so has Envy, so is Natus, Vincere. These defenses have not been easy. There's a lot going on. There's a lot to contend with. You got a Zen spiting, kind of soaring above you. Mutu's got to hold both channels and make sure that he doesn't get flanked out. And I think Random Noob and Rubu know that. They have the pressure. There it is, yet again. Taking advantage of that mechanic and getting his ultimate very frequently. And this is just a match Victor's going to lose unless he's getting some incredible healing, and he does. He gets the whole gang.
Oh my goodness, the police came through to bail him out. I love that from Mutu. Now backs up into the corner where he can be saved. Grenade is placed perfectly under the shield of Rubu. Double kill, and it is just finger on the trigger here. Nice disengage though, Rock Monkey. A little parting gift for Mutu.
And he makes it out alive as well. That's just one of those things that two players who have been called the best in the world at different times and in different rights in different regions, you know, that's just that's a 1v1. That's a thing, you know, a wink on the battlefield or on the basketball court that nobody sees except them. Respect all around. They know they can both get the job done. And there's a barrage. Mutu trying to hold this defense.
There's a nice angle to be played here by Creatives right now, but Rubu is hyper aware of it. Spooked off very, very quickly. Mutu finds the first kill on a Random Noob. Big stun comes out, the seismic crash. 2 ultimates spent for Na'Vi, so if Envy can back off, I mean, it's not the end of the world.
And you know what? I mean, they're still there. Like, they're still buying time, and Toki finds Phoenix, and now Rock Monkey, although he's low, needs a heal from Mr. Hayes. Mr. Hayes has to find the gourd. He has to help his teammates, and they feel strong enough that they can push this through. It's just kinetics. It's just that Inara. Dodge roll away. He avoids the enlightenment. Rock Monkey's the one doing the teaching this time around. He may reach Nirvana with Envy here if he can keep on going and make it a 3-1.
Halo inching his way forward. Phoenix just says, I gotta do it, boys. Plants the battle standard damage immunity for the next 8 seconds. Overtime continuing to burn in favor of Team Envy right now. The kills could go either way, but the defense can reinforce faster.
And Tolki finds it with the barrage. Phoenix will find another, but that battle standard will not last forever. Random Noob, though, goes down, and that'll do. That'll do, Pig. Lazy finds the D for Natus, Vincere, and now it's all squared away yet again.
Need more smiles from Team Envy, and it's not something I say often. It's not going to be easy, but Phoenix has got to be better. There is so much aggression pouring out from Team Envy. Lazy's on the objective. It really is up to him. Whatever whatever that call has to be. He is the front man. He gets a lot of credit all throughout the year, and this is where the pressure has to be put on him.
And I mean, there's so much pressure onto a guy who's just been like thrown into this World Championship run
figure it out.
once and then twice. And you're right, there are no room for excuses here.
It's stuff like you know waiting around for that knockback on the Xin, right? That's just burning. That's what Random Noob's there to do. He's trying to waste your time. Getting caught up in that 1v1 way in the back line there. I feel like protecting your relatively low mobility backline might be a better priority for Phoenix.
Either way, I mean, it's a game of inches, right? And it still has proven to be. And oh man, you don't want to give them a mile at all. Lazy's in trouble. This is bad news, Bears. There's no angle for him to get out. There's absolutely none. Lazy is going to be dead unless something crazy happens. That's a barrage, but it is too late. And this is Envy, who have just collapsed. They have found the answer to this point fight, and Random Noob on the backside now has full access to the support.
But that is something. Mutu has given them a chance, a hope, a light at the end of the tunnel here. A little pick action on a Rock Monkey. Phoenix gets out as well. Spite lands on a Spunky. That's going to be good for a kill there. Not mobility this time. It is a very versatile tool.
And even Victor, even Mutu, the Terminator, with the assault rifle and the grenades in hand, backs away, cows in fear to the Fernando, piloted by Rubu's. Got to hit the shot. He does. He got creative about it, and that's what creatives will do here and then. And it's Lazy who gets low, but he's not out. The fire is burning from above, but he still stands strong like the Stigala, the Stone Warden, is meant to do.
Pressure is just relentless from Team Envy.
Mutu
goes in there for the touch. He gets solo onto the Dread Serpent, is burned to make sure that he gets locked down. 2 more for Team Envious.
Hello! Goodbye. Not the artist, but boy, Tolkien is painting a beautiful picture, isn't he? The Hexafire finds a kill. Creatives, nothing to do about that one. A body block, a billow. Envy, they're 3-2. They could go ahead in this set for the first time ever.
This is just not looking good from Navi. They just look a little bit lost. They do not know how to win this objective fight. That was the 3rd time, and it has not improved whatsoever. It's Envy. Honestly, a lot of times we just see teams, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They'll try and do the same thing over and over, but that's not what's happening here. Envy are now changing their sights onto Lazy. They are trying to keep Navi on their toes so they're not predictable and easy to read.
He's dead. Creatives is about to die as well. Look at that, the Immortal. They're going for it. Envy see the payload keep moving, but look at that. Mutu comes in. They need the Terminator to lock his sights in, and the man delivers a double kill on the Lone Wolf Victor, and he might just be the lone chance Natus Vincere have to hold here on Serpent Beach. By God, gets another. Maybe Tolkien wanted to fall off as well, but either way, Mutu is locked and loaded. He's got the grenades at the ready, Nick.
Let's take a look at the items here real quick. I want to see what's coming online for Navi. Pretty close there on the Wrecker 3, but I don't even know if Mutu's going to be going for it at this point. He's purchased so many other things, and that was my really only way out. Maybe those items, those offensive options are what they can bring this game back with. The front line just will not relent, though. Team Envious's big boys are holding it down.
And you got to say, this is good play for Phoenix now. I mean, perfect timing of everything. He's going to get the knockback. It will not find a kill, and oh boy, he doesn't have cooldowns. He doesn't have cooldowns right now. This is bad. This is bad. He maybe gambled a little bit more now. Creatives is down. Oh no, the front lines have just taken care of one front line and a damage dealer. Mutu, he better lock in, but I don't know if he can lock in enough. Random Noob, he's going to have the pillow available. He doesn't need it. He finds the kill. This is Envy. They're making their move now. It was an overextension from the front line, and this could come back to haunt them.
There it is. Mutu with a quick cancel on the barrage there. That could be a misstep that cost them dearly. 2-2. This set could go either way. Natus Vincere trying to move in from the backside now. Mutu has got to be good. Another grenade into the room. A lot of pressure there.
Kills.
They need to finish this kill. Phoenix should be communicating. He needs to drop down. He needs to finish this.
Oh, Phoenix finds a clutch kill on Arubu. You've got to be wiping the sweat off your brow if you are a Natus Vincere fan. That was huge. Phoenix will take these plays. He will take risks, and a lot of times he will come out on top. That's 8 seconds remaining, but watch out. The Zen maybe pretending that he's not ready to go in, but he's got a pillow. He's got a whirl. He's got a counter, and man, he's got Fernando. He's back on the objective. Phoenix again getting low, and he's got the assert dominance. Nick, does he use it?
Anti-heal onto the Ruckus. He's got to hold it for now. It's all about who gives first. So far, it's Rubu Mutu being huge for his team at the moment. He's in the back corner there. Big damage from Rock Monkey, but Rock has no angle.
And look at Phoenix. He's going for the shoulder bash. Rock, he tries to save the damage, but he can't find it. The battering ram choice is too good. And I think, yeah, we are at another 3-3. it couldn't be closer here on Championship Sunday.
They got to find a way to communicate. They got to figure this out. Na'Vi, normally such a smart team in Paladins, but they have made little to no progress this time around, and no games being played on the objective here. A nice little spray in between shots there from Mr. Hayes. The second Mutu makes himself available, he's going to find a way to get her done. Mutu 17-8 though, biggest KD in the game.
And you know what? I like the fact that they have basically all 5 ultimates on Envy. Lazy is really the odd man out, or the odd, 7-foot-tall rock woman out. Either way you want to slice it, you would describe what he's doing right now. 30% on the ultimate. That will not charge that fast. I mean, he's a front line. He doesn't get it that quickly. So they're going to have to go without that huge CC. And they start off with the scout. Envy know exactly where Na'Vi are.
Sir dominance, though, deep in the back line. Finally, Na'Vi taking it to Envy. They want to get the pressure back on the high ground. The battle for the map has begun.
No one has stepped on the point. This is absolutely different than what we've seen. Natus, Vincere have adjusted, and now Lazy is back. They feel like they have pressure, positive pressure. They have pushed Envy back into their base. But here comes Rubu. He's got the Flame Lance, and he's got Rock Monkey, his buddy, behind him. This is a lot of damage. Venus has to be careful. He only has a shoulder bash to get out.
Big shield cooldown used up as well. That's a lot of what Envy want to use to take back the objective here. Relentless on the Rubu. Rubu's on the objective. Remember, his shield is down. Shoulder bash coming through. It's going to force the ultimate.
And this could be it. I think he might find it. Rock Monkey gets Phoenix. They were waiting. They were biding their time. This is not checkers, ladies and gentlemen. This is chess. The highest level of Paladins going back and forth, and they are waiting for it. Spike to get to the high ground. Misses out on creatives, but it is Rubu who finds the kill. Oh, and the reload. He can't find the kill on a Tolkien.
Out of ammunition. He can't make up his mind. Where do you want to go, Mutu? He's going back to base. 90% though for Na'Vi. Lazy, ever present on the objective. They gotta not letting go.
They gotta get him, and this is the moment. You have to see it happen. 77% on the illusory rift. If that thing gets going, there's no way the seismic crash gets charged, but he dies as he's trying to use it. 99% Team Envy. They are about to go down here to Na'Vi. They need to step on the point and fast.
It's time. Team 1000 online. Mutu drops 1 shell before he's eliminated there. Rock Monkey with 2. Rock Monkey with 3. Sean Boswell stepping up to the plate and knocking it clear out of the ballpark.
Looking to find 4 here. He needs it. Seismic crash. It does hit. And now it's Creatives versus Rock Monkey.
4.
See you later. Envy. They might just win this fight. Another immortal, but here's Phoenix. Oh, he gets hit midair. Envy, they are storming through the gates of Serpent Beach, and they're locking it. Na'Vi don't have a key, and this is going to go the way of North America. Championship point, Envy.
What an effort. I mean, Team Envious, round after round, they continue to adjust here. And they have fired back. They're fired up. That's 2 in a row for the boys in blue. And black and gold is looking a little shook. Communication is slowing down here. They have got to stay talking or Envy will take this set. Na'Vi have 1 chance. They will get to select the map of where this unfolds.
The back to potentially back world champions are potentially getting kicked out of the tournament next round. Let's send it back to the desk after this epic game.
Gore, I need you to hold me, buddy. Just embrace me.
I got you.
Oh, man.
So you guys excited to play Fish Market for the first time at last forever?
Let us embrace what has been, like, instead of Church of Grover, like, praise Rock Monkey. Like,
Praise
Rock Monkey was ridiculous.
Praise the Rock.
That game.
Oh, and I'm not talking about Dwayne Johnson.
Why not both?
Why not both? I guess so. Why not both? Rock Monkey at the end of that game was the unstoppable force. He was the thing that Gorilla Monsoon years ago in the WWF was talking about. The question is, will Na'Vi become the immovable object? Because it's very clear that they are shooketh, as we all are right now.
They are. And it right there at the end, it was that turning around play from Rock Monkey, which did turn the tide. It was a series of kills, and then getting the outplay onto Lian after a seismic crash came in to help them out. I mean, I would love to see that from Creative's point of view, because we couldn't see the health bars on screen at that point. I don't know how low Rock Monkey got, and whether that was just the fact that the healing and the support from Mr. Hayes was so damn good, or whether Creatives was just
how low
crumbling under pressure. Exactly.
Rock Monkey was like, this is the play right here. Rock Monkey was like basically dead. Like,
here we go, dives in, gets the 3.
And then
Creatives is like, aha, I see an opportunity. And then a replay ends.
A little bit later is when he falls back. Like, things are getting way too close for comfort for him. I think he hits like 500 health and rolls away, and you hear the seismic crash come through as well. And it's just like, okay, he is stunned, but he's standing around the corner, and Leon just gets aggressive a little bit too late. And then with the knock-up, the disengage, he keeps that crosshair just off of him just long enough. And it's one of those plays that you can't make that unless you are phenomenal, and that is exactly what he has shown.
That's right. Well, here are your stats presented by Axis Replay. Mutu did have a great game as the victor. I will also have to commend, though, Random Noob on the Xin. That was like the good pick. I was very confused here. I wanted to understand how this pick played into Victor, and you had explained it pretty well.
So there are a couple of things which come up. First of all, Victor on Serpent Beach is generally so safe that unless you have a flank to pressure them out reliably, you're probably going to end up taking a spill here. But what critically happened right there, and what I'm looking at just relating to the stats there, is that originally you have pressure coming up on high ground from Fernando Cassie that forces the Victor back a little bit. Mutu comes in, and then Creatives on the Leon, the one that needs to be breaking down shields and applying anti-heal, turns around to help the all-important Victor. And at that point, you have this big re-sustain that comes through onto Rubu's immortal Fernando. I mean, talk about immovable object. This guy just didn't die so many times.
Yes, he was so close to dying by the Ash. Phoenix was on platform, just farming away.
Bit of healing comes on through.
Then the Damba heals come through, then he moves out. He's still alive. He gets on the point, pops Immortal. Also, you gotta give love to the Damba on that, right? Like, that is just, Mr. Hayes just, unbelievable. But this is your Steel Series MVP, and honestly, I think you could have picked any member of Envy in that game, and you would have been perfectly fine, production. Any member, and it's Toki here with the Ruckus.
And Toki did so much, I think, throughout the game. But first off, being able to pop any kind of Hexafire. So one of the things we've had gotten used to, I would say, at one point was people being kind of timid, afraid to ult. They didn't want to pop it. They didn't want to throw it out unless they truly needed it. But we've started seeing this transition, especially in the top teams, to just throw it out there. And I think that is what he had going for him. So many moments were popped because of him making a play like that.
Yeah, this is a point C style Hexapire. Point A is you wait until the most opportune moment and you use it, and you manage to get all the kills in the world. You pick up the quadra kill, which Tolkien has also done, by the way. Point B style of Hexapire is no emitter, 10 health, better ult, and you slap it, and that's the PGS style Hexafire. What Tolkien's doing is using it as a momentum carry, right? He's getting into a position where he can use it, and he's going, what is the value of me just popping this here and there? Even if I just get a single kill, does that just allow us to take the edge? And sometimes that's all you need your ultimates to do, is just make one pick.
Yeah, one pick. We kept saying it so many times, especially in that last fight, because there was a point in time where I think it went like a minute or so into that last round. No one got on point. It was all about that first pick. That was the thing that was most important. So I do agree, like, sometimes just throw it all out there. Every single like bullet and rocket that is in Ruckus's arsenal, just throw it out there. But let's go ahead and take a look at the map for our next game here.
Fish Market. I want to see Fish Market. Look at that, I'm good at Paladins. That's a bit of a random one.
I'm going to call it the place teams go to lose.
So for maybe some of our uneducated viewers out there, why the Na'Vi Fish Market pick?
So for Na'Vi and Fish Market specifically, we're reaching the end of the map pool. This is the one that Na'Vi wants to play rather than the one that they really will begrudgingly play because they don't have a choice and they're at literally the end of no more maps available. So they probably have a composition for this one. They're probably going to look for some of the more range damage dealers, but they might have something a little bit more finicky up their sleeves. We've seen a lot of Talus be popular picks throughout the tournament so far. Nothing in the finals just yet, and I'm wondering if something like that might be coming to play on a more two-dimensional map with less verticality.
My eyes are really turned more towards Envy on this map. Like, I feel like it's one, like, Na'Vi has played, I think they actually ban this map most of the time they get, but today, I mean, you have to go up against Envy. You can't just ban something you're uncomfortable with. You have to ban what they are good on. And this is a map where, like Vox had said, long-range damage can take a little bit of a precedent. And so you have potential to see a Strix, a Kinessa, even though I will say the Kinessa earlier wasn't crazy impressive on my end, or on Rock Monkey's end. I think he's gotten warmed up. I think he's in the zone.
Here we go. Picks and bans for Fish Market. And Na'Vi, they're getting that first ban. It is going to be Fernando. And I mean, I agree with that. And then Khan goes right away for Envy.
is probably... Oh, the Eevee ban comes through again.
These are 2 target bans, by the way.
This is really tough right now. Envy, they're probably looking to take away maybe the Torvald because you have a big environmental hassle on Fish Market, which is tough. But it's the Makoa that goes through, and this is Na'Vi now looking, going, do we take the bait? Do we take the Torvald? Will it work? How can we be countered?
One of the
they go for the Ash
things I think that actually stands for me maybe against a Torvald, and honestly against an Ash. I mean, we've seen Na'Vi go for Leon how many games in a row? Like, they typically have been leaning towards her first. They want to get that because you want creators to be comfortable right now. You're trying to bait Envy into picking them, but maybe you have something else. But Torvald, those bubbles do not last long if Leon is looking at it because of the wrecker she always buys into.
Ruckus, and that will go most definitely to Tolki, who has just been lights out. Cassie, Envy getting 2 really nice picks here to start. Strong picks from the boys in blue.
You know, we might be getting into some of the most tense Paladins we're going to see all year since the last World Championships, but we're getting into armchair picks right now. This is the comfort zone for these players. We've kind of danced around a little bit and had these target bans come through and a little bit of trying to outpick your opponent, and the realization comes on through that actually overall, if we take away the 1 or 2 really critical picks that we know are what these players succeed with, then we're just back into going with what we know. We're going to play our individual games that comes down to who can play basic Paladins better.
We were discussing that Na'Vi, whenever things seem to get a little dicey, they just adjust very well. I have to give credit to this North American Envy team for adjusting just as well as Na'Vi has here. And well, the Torvald's been picked up, the Leanne's been picked up. Is this happening? Is this happening? No, no, the Maldamba gets picked up.
This is quite curious actually as well, because we're seeing a Ying lapse completely. Envy having a second pick win with Maldamba, obviously confident in the fact, especially with the Nanara on their team, that they can sustain as much as they need to with the Maldamba rather than the Ying.
Yeah.
With Swift Spirits as well, they might be looking for a more mobile flank last pick as well, so keep your eyes out for that. Na'Vi need to find some way to respond, and they need some way to break down these tanks. The Drogos or the Willow needs to come through at this point.
I'm looking probably more towards Drogos, at least if you're Na'Vi right now. I think that's going to fit perfectly into what they could, I mean, just estimate through a Nanara, through a Ruckus. But he's been devoid. Like, a lot of teams have been looking over at him. He comes through, but
or the Victor, I guess.
Well,
Victor is the other option, right? And if it is the Victor, then it's safer. But the Vivian is shocking to me because, I mean, we look back to the Ascension Peak game and we saw Envy able to kind of come back into that and box it out so well because Cassie just breaks down shields, and Vivian is so susceptible to this sin because she has no way to escape.
Yeah, I'm just going to say it. I don't like the Vivian. Like, I'm looking at everything she can do.
Zone?
I mean, Ruckus is the only person that Saparance is going to be truly effective against. Her damage is still going to be great. It's still going to do awesome against Cassie and Zen if she can catch them out, but I feel like her immobility is going to play really heavily against Na'Vi.
But Win Dancer Torvald could be the difference maker there, and if you can add that 40% quick zoom onto a Vivian, and she already has 30% based in her kit, she could be speeding around the map like
Lex flashbacks.
Blue Hedgehog.
Let's get some predictions.
I'm torn. I'm really torn. I think Envy, though, might just have the edge here.
I'm going Envy all in.
All right, well, the desk says Envy, and the fate of this final is in their hands. Will they be the first North American team to secure a Paladins World Championship, or will Na'Vi bring us to a best of 7 all the way to the end? Let's get hype, let's get loud, and send it over to your casters for this Fish Market matchup.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. Man, I am ready, and honestly, I've said this before, I do not care who wins. I am just excited to see a great set, and this has to be going down in the record books, Nick. This is a fantastic performance by both teams.
Such a scary moment for Na'Vi loading into this one. Fish Market, very unfamiliar territory for this tournament. Na'Vi coming up, or excuse me, Envy coming off the back of 2 straight wins. They certainly have the momentum behind them. Na'Vi just cannot tilt. They have to stay focused here if they want any chance at forcing Game 7.
Here it is. These are the talents selected that will decide a world championship for the side of North America for the first time ever in Paladins esports history. Team Envy could immortalize themselves here, but still history is fighting on the other side to get Spunky that back-to-back-to-back. The Phoenix and the rest of Na'Vi, the back-to-back. In January, they had this success, but they are against the wall. They have found a competitor that matches them. each and every step of the way.
Meta Pusher's jacket is off. Rock Monkey's looking through his eyebrows. Random Noob is chewing on that bottom lip. These boys are laser
They're getting sexy over here.
The most important game of their lives, without a doubt. One of the most important moments, I think, of a lot of these young men's careers in Paladins. 45% on the objective for Team Envy. No blood has been spilled yet.
Fish Market is a very snowballing map, and either team that gets the first objective here is going to have a chance to push pretty well into a 2-0. Right now, Rubu looks to maybe go down, but Tolkien finds Mutu. That is so much damage that is now off the board. And what can Random Noob do? He finds a kill onto Phoenix, and Rock Monkey looking to just side over to the left and support this Envy roster, but also get that dismount, which is so pivotal here on this wide spread out map.
Nobody on the objective for Team Envy, but they have control of the majority of the map right now, waiting and watching for these comeback potentials for Navi. They're really focused on these dismounts here. They are very, very not concerned with the objective here. They want to maintain map control over everything.
And he needs the counter, he needs the billow. They find the kill, 29 health. Sign it. It's good. Envy cashing their checks today and not waiting any second later, because this is when it needs to happen. Phoenix still on the objective, Nick. Ruben wants to get in there, but they force him away just with the pressure.
Ultimate's coming out already for Navi. A lot of ultimates online here. Random Noob gets the drop, but the bubble comes through. Could potentially go for the ultimate. Into the billow he goes. Patient, wise play from Noob. Moving into the top chair, and Envy will scoop away the first payload.
Give that one to Mr. Hayes, the Dread Serpent. He walks in and thinks he can walk out. Yeah, right, says Rock Monkey. Give anybody a kill who has R at the first letter of their name, because it's Noob. It's Rock Monkey killing all of Navi, and this is the zone we talked about, Nick. This makes it so difficult to regroup and have an advantage defensively.
Rock Monkey getting in a rhythm on Cassie here. He's looked really, really good. He's played it a whole lot this set. Creatives hasn't been able to get it. It's been the most frequent pick he's played of the event without a doubt. 155 on the clock here. The draft's important in this set as they ever would be here. Navi go for I think it was a really risky Vivian here. The Torvald isn't aligning right now. I just am not seeing the win condition for Navi.
Nick, this is not looking good, and losing Phoenix there that early makes it a 4v5 at the top of the hill on Fish Market. You know what I call this map, right?
What do you call it?
The place you go to lose.
Oh no.
Is it starting to make sense now?
Potentially could go under here. Fish Market looking to submerge Navi and emerge Envy as the first North American world champion.
Wow, and Phoenix lands. That might just be the saving grace. 520 health, but 8 seconds. That's what they care about. He gets 2K extra thanks to the bubble. But look at this, Nick. It's a minute and 13 left. Envy, they look like they're going to 2-0 here. They do. They are 2 points away from being your world champion.
They're looking good. They're looking locked in. Confidence there. Envious fans in the front row as well. And where is the conversation for Navi? Taking the sips of the water here, but no one's saying anything right now. What is the plan?
Look at Lazy. I mean, he's on an island. There's nothing against him, but you're right. No one's communicating. Focus on their own job, but this is the time you need to talk and figure it out. Is there anything to figure out? Did this draft just kill them?
So frustrated right now. Navi losing 2 straight here. It's just so much momentum back. And again, Mr. Hayes has been on point with these fears, preventing any contest from Navi. And momentum. Nearly a killless round for Navi.
This is not the way you wanted to go into an elimination game in the grand finals against Team Envy, but that is what has happened. That is what has fallen. Natus Vincere, and they have to make a play. Europe is not out of it. History is still at stake for these guys. Every point matters, but Phoenix's health is melting. Battering ram just barely saves him, and the illusory rift will give him a full life again. But will that life be any better than the first?
Nara on the objective here, so troubling to try and displace her. Phoenix is going in, but he changes last second. Doesn't want to die for Rock Monkey. 14 streak. So many streaks for Navi, for Envy at this point. It's such a struggle for Navi to be able to get back.
And this is the Fish Market flamenco here. They are dancing around the objective, but Rock Monkey, he finds Mutu again. This Vivian pick is looking just sad for Navi. This is not the team we know
into
that
the
are the defending world champions. Paladins, this is not the team we're used to seeing. Europe's juggernauts are looking pint-sized here.
Collapse from Natus Vincere. Rock Monkey, he finds the chip in the armor, and he's more of a silverback gorilla right now. He rips it apart. Na'Vi are falling apart. Team Envy begin the campaign, the potential final push for the World Championship. Will Thanos Spunky be defeated here? Will he not get his Infinity Stone today?
Because if he doesn't get it today, I don't know if he's getting that third for a while. Envy, is it their moment to steal history? They're David, but at this point, it looks like they're about to rip the heart out of Goliath and steal his car. 1 minute and 55 seconds now, but it doesn't look like they're gonna need it. Creatives, is he gonna be the first to fall, Nick? He is!
Puts the helmet on, Tolkien going toe-to-toe with Creatives. Rock Monkey again, looking for the way into the back line here. He pops the scout, the gas pedal is hit. Envious are looking to break the base of Na'Vi. One answers back, but Tolkien finds one. Rock Monkey gets one of his own.
My God, Nick. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to make of this.
Annihilation.
Annihilation across the board. North America has waited for this moment. The hill is crested in so many different ways. It looks like NA are on the precipice, Nick, of doing it. Of becoming the world champions. Envy steal the show, and they claim the globe in Paladins.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Paladins World Champions, Team Envy. Congratulations. What a run they had. Unbelievable stuff there. Oh, that one was decided in the picks and bans. You could tell there was a lot of discomfort from Na'Vi. Envy just felt, honestly, just oddly comfortable with what they picked up. They had a strategy, a plan, and now they are your world champions. Vox, you gotta eat your words here, buddy.
I do have to eat my words here, but I'll go back to something which I've been looking at for a long time right now. You can't outpick, outban Envy. They are so comfortable in anything, and Na'Vi just gave them the most comfortable of comfort picks.
But I thought that Na'Vi was like that as well. It just, something just...
Yeah, and then they picked the Vivian, right?
That's true, that's true. Gore, it was clinical. What they did to Na'Vi, just forcing them into spots that they simply were just not able to fight out of.
I mean, the way you put it before that game goes in, it's a battle of the mind, right? It's chess. It's going to be meta pusher as well as the drafting that comes through. Toki, Rubu, all putting in word for that one. And then on the other side, the conversation for Na'Vi, a team that is phenomenal at adapting during the middle of a game.
Yep.
It didn't seem like they were making that adjustment from game to game, especially towards the end there.
Yeah.
And once that last lock-in came in, I feel like you could feel smiles just burning from Envy, especially with the way the last game went. I mean, Rock Monkey and the rest of the crew just destroyed them.
They had a plan. Let's take a look at the Access Replay post-game stats for that Fish Market game, because I want to see where the numbers fall here. And I think that it's going to be rather lopsided, and it's because of one man, one mission. Your boy, Rock Monkey.
Annihilation. This might just be a first, and it definitely is for the world stage. 15 kills, 0 deaths, 57,000 damage, at least 10k above the next highest number of Navi. Gormeister, this is his genuine shock face. We pulled out this is our shock face before.
4 kills. Navi only got 4
because they were getting literally annihilated, Gore. That's why.
It's
literally
annihilation.
For a reason, dude. Oh my word, Rock Monkey on the Cassie. That is an insta-ban no matter what you do moving forward. There is no world where you let that guy get a hold of that champion, or else you are going to be feeling the pain from that crossbow.
I know the secret. I was getting coffee in the hotel lobby this morning, and look who toddles on up. It's Rock Monkey.
Okay.
It's all in the caffeine.
It's in the caffeine.
It is.
I don't know.
That hot bean water, folks.
I don't know if the hot bean water is the difference maker
and
here,
maybe the Cassie.
But I think it's just the skill. It is the skill of Rock Monkey. You know, I mean, our MVP has to be Rock Monkey.
I can't argue against it.
I can't think of anyone. I mean, at the beginning, I would have leaned towards Random Noob because of what he was applying.
And also Rubu as well. But then,
yes. Well,
right there at the end, right?
Let's look at the bracket here. This is how we got to this point where Envy are your champions. It all started with the domination of the Aussie nation. They took out Kanga 3-0, then went on into a slobber knocker with Team Envy that ended 4-3. But we all thought that this was going to be the tallest order of this competition. Envy having to defeat the Paladins world champions in Natus Vincere. Not going to be the case. Envy outdrafted, outplayed toward the end, and because of that, they are your Paladins world champions.
It just goes to show that whoever can beat the Latin American representatives is the team that can win it all.
Navi did it last. Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
All they need.
So really, Latin America are
the trial
region.
by fire, right? It's the setup for the gauntlet that you got to run through to be able to do it overall. But I mean, this is just domination right there. It does also set up the contention that, you know, Space Station might be the 3rd best team in the world right now.
Has to be.
But overall, Team Envy, I mean, this is the 2nd big championship that they've won all year. They managed to take the Vegas land. I think that was versus, if I'm not mistaken, Navi at the time as well. And now they've done it again without a loser's bracket run through with something like 10 games on stage.
Yeah, well, this was that miracle run that Envy was hoping for, and it all started with that Kanga win. Just, you saw the practice, the studying that Meta Pusher and this squad had put toward winning this event. And now we're actually going to hear from one of the stars of this squad. It's actually going to be Rubu, who's over at the floor right now. What's going on?
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Ryan Rubu Wong. He is your World Championship MVP. Go ahead and give that a nice little hoist for the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, what an incredible performance. Rubu, you did it, man. You did it, you did it, you did it. 1 year ago, you're in the Paladins Global Series, the amateur scene. 1 year later, you stand hoisting the MVP trophy, the big crystal, everything is yours. What are your initial feels?
To be honest, I just want to say thank you to my family for supporting me so much with my gaming career and letting me pursue my dreams of being a competitive player. Huge shout out to Envy as well for allowing us to boot camp. And most importantly, I have to give a huge shout out to my team. They played amazing. They played out of their mind.
I don't know how an MVP was selected because you guys really all brought the thunder. You defeated Navi. You defeated a team that was looking for a back-to-back world championship. This is a team you're very close with. This is a team you spend a lot of time with, talk to a lot about this game. How does it feel to defeat this team in particular?
It feels really good, especially looking up to one of their players, Phoenix. He's one of my bestest friends and someone that I look up to in the scene. So it feels really good to be able to beat them in a tournament that's as big as this.
What's next for Team Envious? What's next for Rubu?
No clue. Hopefully we get to play more games.
Absolutely, guys. Another congratulations, round of applause, make some noise. Ryan Rubu Wong, your 2018 World Championship MVP. My man, congratulations from me. You know, this means a lot. We care a lot about you players. You guys are all very...
Well, I think what Pretty Hair was going to say is that all the casters, all you guys, you know, I come here one time a year for the World Championship, but you all here all the time. You live, you breathe Paladins, and I think it goes without saying that you guys care so deeply for these players, you care so deeply for this community. So seriously, I mean, you welcome me in every single year with open arms, and I always feel so welcomed by this community and also by the talent here. You guys are world class, and it's been an absolute blast. I think that's what Pretty Hair was going to say. But guys, final thoughts here, man. What an event this has been.
I mean, every single team that shows up here, and this goes through placements, this goes through everybody that has played in the league, even to the point like all of the PGS teams, all of the console teams that have showed up, like they are the best of the best. They are one game away, one maybe slip up, one mistake on their side or their opponent's side from being able to make it onto that stage and become a champion. And Envy just played lights out. And that is just one thing that I think is always going to be remembered. You get to watch these sets, they're phenomenal games, but the entire thing's a whole treat.
That's right.
I only ever have one ask coming into these events, and that's that we get an incredible showing, folks. And I think that this year especially, we've had 2 in 1 year. We can't ask for any more than that. And all I look forward to at this point is 2019 and another year of Paladins Esports.
I couldn't agree more. It's always a blast to be here each and every year for HRX. This year we got to do it 2 times in 1 year, which is pretty dope. And you know, whether it's the console community or the PC community, the level of play has upped so much because of the support that Skillshot and Evil Mojo and Hi-Rez at Proper have given toward this community. When I remember we did the Paladins Invitational 2 years ago, what we were seeing from those players was good. Nowhere near what we're seeing right now, guys. It has been absurd to see this progress. But guys, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Huge shout out to all the talent, everyone that had contributed to this event. And if you want to hear from the players, the good news is that's coming up right now. Thank you so much for watching the Paladins World Championship. We'll see you next time.
Boys, what an emotional roller coaster you have put the world of Paladins on. We're going to talk to all of you here, and I just got to say thank you, first of all, for some amazing games adding to the history books. Let's talk to Rubu first. Rubu, you were on that journey. Nick mentioned it, from Team Purity. What does this mean to you, getting that MVP, being able to hold that World Championship trophy above your head today?
It feels amazing, honestly, being able to see our team's growth, and even all as players, we all see our individual growth. I think it's massive, and I think it's a really great feeling to finally win a tournament as big as this.
Random noob, it would be remiss if I didn't talk about your performance a lot, myself included. I love Rubu, but think you might have been the deciding factor there with that EV play, forcing those bans, the way you took the Xenon and just shouldered the weight for this Envy team. You were here before you were winning anything, and now you're here when you've won it all. How does it feel?
It feels amazing. I love playing flankers. I love being behind the team, opening up space for Rock, and Rubu's bouncing off of it, and just playing Eevee and Xin. They didn't trust me with Xin on Fish Market, but I was like, dude, it's insane. Trust me. Trust me.
And that trust paid off, that's for sure. What a dominant game to finish it off. Let's get somebody from behind here. Mr. Hayes, let's talk to you. Talk about making space. That Dread Serpent on Mutu comes to mind, and the spray at the end. Was that when you knew that this was the day you guys were going to change history? You were going to win Worlds for North America and for Team Envious?
I don't know if you guys saw, but I was spraying the whole set, to be honest.
Okay, so it didn't mean anything.
Huh?
It didn't mean a thing then.
No. But yeah, respect to Navi though. Great players, tough set.
Mr. Hayes, all jokes aside, man, this means a lot to you. I know your family is here. I know you have people watching. You don't always get the credit because you're the support. But honestly, this is your moment. What do you have to say to the world?
Thanks to everyone who supported me. I know a lot of people didn't think I would make it this far, but I'm here now.
He's here now. Started from the bottom, now he's here. Drake's playing in Atlanta, by the way. You may want to catch that show. And a guy who we don't give enough credit to, the position we don't give enough credit to, the coach. I know all of Envy feel that they couldn't do it without you. Meta Pusher, Justin, you've been so instrumental in this team, having the reputation it has, being able to go the distance. What does it feel to finally get your boys here and watch them along the way in all their growth?
I mean, it's literally an out-of-body experience right now. I can't explain how much emotions have gone through. I mean, this is my third HRX. The first one I was a fan, second one I was an analyst because we didn't qualify, and now I'm here as a coach with the champions, man. I don't even know what to say. I can't thank these guys enough because everything I do is, theoretical. They're the ones getting the frags, making the plays, and they just make me look good. I love these guys.
A lot of heart on this team, and I have to bring up the man in the back, both men in the back as well, but we'll start with the shorter one here. But he's so big in the way he plays for your squad. Tolkey, Rock Monkey, we'll get to Tolkey first. The heart and soul. I call you that kind of, that little engine that just keeps on going. And you keep your team motivated. You have a smile on your face all the time, whether you win or lose. You are there, and you have made the difference here. What does it feel just having this moment, having everything be about you, a world champion?
Words can't describe what I'm feeling right now, but honestly, I'm very proud of this whole squad. We've been through so much from the very beginning. We've had a very rocky whole season, and we just clutched up and we won at the end. It means a lot to us.
What a performance and what a story. And we will end this part at least with the man who kind of stole the show here, and he typically does. Considered the best player in the world, and there's no doubt about it now. 15-0 in that last game. Unbelievable stuff, I believe. And Rock Monkey, you have carried this team ever since you were joined with Rubu here from Team Purity to make Envy the squad they are now. What do you have to say? The floor is yours. You're a world champ.
To say I'm so proud of my team, and I don't think I did nearly as much as I did in Vegas. I think I got these guys way ahead of me, and I'm just floating around trying to help out.
Humble as always, Mr. Rock. I know we have a lot of people here who are waiting to potentially talk to you, maybe ask a few questions, but I don't know what else needs to be said, really. I know we're going to hear from Pretty Air here. He may have a conversation, at least want something to ask just real quick. I know we talked to Rubu here, but...
I mean, looking through the eyebrows, I said random noobs chewing on the bottom lip. The jacket is off. I think these are the real secrets to success for Team Envious. But just talk about the sense of family that you guys have. You guys are one of the closest groups I think we have in the PPL. How did this group really come together to achieve what no other North American team has ever achieved?
I think...
Well, we always talk about mentality and how we mesh and how we play around each other. And Ruben and I just came in. It was kind of a ragtag group, and we just stuck together and we talked so much about how to get better. I feel like we learned so well together, even though we're pretty different.
Of course, everything didn't start perfect. We all had our low points, especially when we first started. But we always, even if we have arguments, we always come back to, hey, we're a family, we're a team. We all need to remember that when we come into arguments. We may be at each other's throats sometimes, but it always comes back to, hey, we're a family. We're going to push through this together, and we're going to win together. You don't lose alone. You lose together, and you win together.
A beautiful sentiment here from Team Envious. The boys in blue do it for the first time ever for North America. One more time, congratulations, gentlemen. You thought that was all we have for you, but we've got Game 5 of the Smite World Championship over live, and we're going to send you guys that way. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
HRX is brought to you by High Res Studios, INAC, Mixer, Alienware, and Stillshot.